This week, in Amityville, New York, a couple has normal marital problems until those problems mushroom into a deadly mess. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much, immensely, an enormous amount for joining us this week. Thank you, guys. Our 101st episode, and it's a crazy one. Yeah. As you might have heard, it's in Amityville, New York. It's not that case from Amityville, New York, just so you know. It's not the famous one.
Well, it's been done a million times.
What do you take us for? Honestly, in most of our cases, I would say, I can't think of, there might be one that has been done by like another show at some point, maybe two, I don't know, but we really try not to do rare. The ones that that you know about. And so you don't know about this one, but it's in Amityville, the same town as the famous Amityville horror case with we'll talk about that.
I know a little bit.
We'll talk about that briefly in the town history, but yeah, that was all a pile of shit. That was all bullshit, and this is real, so it's pretty interesting here. Thank you, everybody, for your reviews this week. They mean the world to us. All of you guys that got on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, the purple icon, and everywhere else too, and everywhere, whether it's Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen, reviews, they really do help us out a lot. So thank you guys for that. If you have not done that yet, please do that. Give us 5 stars or whatever the maximum is there. And it doesn't matter what you say, because it's never for our ego. It's just for business purposes. Helps drive us up the charts, which helps other people find us, right? Which makes us
a bigger, happier family.
It makes us all happier with more people. So that would be awesome. If you want to find the show a little more and find things about the show, you can do that at shutupandgivememurder.com. Right. You can find out all the information. You can get merchandise, t-shirts, and bath mats, and anything you could possibly want. Coffee mugs. They're all at shutupandgivememurder.com, along with tickets to live shows.
Incredible.
We're going little later on, the next couple months, we're going to announce some dates for later on in the year. But for right now, the 2 that are for sale are January 25th in Seattle
at the Neptune.
Buy your tickets to that, because we're going to have a blast up there.
So good.
And then the next month, February 21st, down in West Palm Beach at the West Palm Improv, where we will be having a blast there too. And that's a really cool club. So come out and check that out.
Both of them are
really cool places.
They're very soon. And if you want to get to the show, you better buy your goddamn tickets now.
Get them soon, and
let's go.
Come out and see us and do that. And we appreciate that. Yes, definitely. Definitely there. Also, another way you can help out the show, obviously, you can become a producer, one of our fabulous, amazing, incredible producers who we talk about at the end of the show. You can do that extremely easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, or going over to PayPal, or you can make a one-time donation there using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. And damn it, if there's one thing we want to tell you guys that we mean from the bottom of our shriveled black hearts, it is listen to Crime in Sports. I'm telling you guys, if you like this show, you will like Crime in Sports. They intersect beautifully. Right. I'm telling you, you don't have to like sports. It's like, how many people out there listening to the show are like, I'm really interested in statistics of towns? But it doesn't matter, because we're going to make it funny. That's the thing. We'll get through the sports part, because that's not most of the show. Most of the show is somebody's complete disastrous life.
Isn't that fascinating?
And stupidity.
It's just
so please check it out. Honestly,
people hate these big stars that do the stuff. And they get in trouble.
So listen,
they are really fucking fascinating.
Yes, if you haven't, because you don't like sports, you haven't given it a chance, give it a damn chance. Honestly, we would not steer you wrong.
Right.
We will not. We'll tell you if we don't think you like something. If we do something and we'll be like, it's probably not for you, we'll tell you that. We don't want people to listen to shit they don't like. So listen to that. With that said, we have to do the disclaimer. Obviously, this is a comedy podcast, everybody. The facts are real. The cases are real. Every bit of the whole thing is real. The only thing that is not real is the jokes, because that's comedy. So we're going to make jokes. We're comedians. That's the way we operate here. We're going to make jokes at the expense of small towns and idiots who do things in the small towns and whoever are in the orbit of these murders. What we try not to do is we try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That is true.
That's kind of how it works here. So if that sounds good to you, awesome. We are going to have a blast. It's a good time. You've been warned that there's jokes inside. If you think that true crime and comedy never belong together, like from a moral standpoint, then you're not going to like the show or crime and sports. So don't listen to either of them.
Take your quiche and go home, Karen.
That's it. Have fun. Do that. Enjoy the accounting department tomorrow where you can complain to everyone else that works there about how these awful guys made fun of a dead person's situation. So whatever that is, but for everybody else that's left, all of you fun people that want to have a good time, I think it's time. I think it's time to shout from the rooftops or the cars or the treadmill or the cubicle or wherever the hell you are. It's time to shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy. What do you say?
All right.
You into this? Let's go on a trip. Last week, obviously, last week we were in Oklahoma and then down to Arizona and meandered down there, which was a crazy case.
I can't believe that, like, growing up in Phoenix, I'm shocked that I didn't hear of that.
Well, it was in the early 80s.
Yeah,
that's
but
why you were 2 when that happened.
But him saying boomer sooner at the end.
Yeah, that
should have got a little more publicity.
That's the thing. When I read that case and how brash he was and how brazen he was, I'm like, how did nobody in the press pick this up as like just interesting to put like we did? You know, like
be a much more popular case.
That's what I thought too. And a lot of our cases are like that. The kid in Dayton, Nevada, that was questionably convicted. I'm like, how is this not more famous of a case? That was fuck Stephen Avery. This kid could really be innocent, and he was a teenager.
At least there's evidence for Stephen Avery.
Yeah, this is crazy shit. A lot of it too, as a matter of fact.
A mountain.
And then there's a lot against it. We understand. Our stance is that Stephen Avery probably did it, and the cops planted evidence. Both. Everybody up there's a fucking asshole. Yeah. That's my thought on it, but I don't know. That's just me. What do I know?
Got one over on him.
What do I know? We don't know anything. Haven't done the research on that other than the 2 documentaries, but I haven't looked into it.
And the last one, the other one, whatever. He was not. He was overturned, exonerated. Who knows if he was part of that? I don't know. I wasn't there.
There was DNA for somebody else in the first case.
He was probably there too.
He might have been jerking off over the body. We don't know, over the whole situation. We don't know that.
He was probably there. That guy sure looks and seems like a scumbag.
Let's go on a trip. He threw a cat into a fire for everybody out there. So I'm sorry. Monster. He's kind of a monster. Anyway, let's go on a trip. We're going all the way to New York today.
Great.
Finally back to New York because we were there very early on in our range, and we have another one coming up in New York very soon. That's my hometown, but I needed to do a little more research on it because I needed to actually talk to some people back there that remembered these people better than I maybe did and get some. I'm filling in the background.
Some personal shit.
Getting some personal shit for once, but we're going all the way to Amityville, New York.
Outstanding.
Amityville, as we know, famous for the one case there that we're not going to talk about, but very briefly.
And the Eminem song.
And the Eminem, obviously. But Amityville, New York, it's on Long Island, which is, if you don't know what New York, if you don't know geography, there's the state of New York, and then there's a dick sticking off of it there that is just one big panhandle. That's Long Island. And Panhandle could not fit a location any more than this. This
place is it? I thought the Long Island was pretty nice.
There's parts of it that are nice, that are like ritzy, that are like wealthy.
The Hamptons are out on Long Island,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Beautiful, but still full of douche. There's Long Island. I don't even know. It must. I'm surprised it doesn't pollute the oceans, just leaking douche off the sides of the islands. Because
are we sure it doesn't?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it might. I'm from back home. I'm from back in New York, and Long Island sucks. Yeah. I don't know if you're from Long Island. You might love it. You're wrong. Yeah. You're just wrong. Where I'm from sucks, and where you're from sucks too. Because Long Island is a piece of shit.
It's flat, right? Like super flat.
It's a fucking It's just this. It's a strip of shit land on a panhandle island. It's awful. It's a Florida prequel, is what it is, and then you move from there to Florida, so it is a prequel.
They do that a lot.
It's about an hour outside of New York City, 4 hours to Boston, 5 hours to Otisco, which was our first case there. Shirley the arsonist there.
The lady that pisses sulfur.
Yeah, she is a nasty one. This is in Suffolk County, zip code 11701, area code 631. It is 2.5 square miles, 2.1 on land, and then obviously the water that surrounds it.
So real quick, Long Island though, because it's for people who've never been to New York City. New York City, public transportation that's how you get around.
There's trains that go out there and shit.
Okay, there's no
trains that go to Long Island.
No subway or any shit like that.
No, but the train people take the train back and forth and all that shit. There's a lot of public transportation. Most of the people that live on Long Island, a lot of them work in the city. Because they're from about the same distance as like where I'm from the city, where it's kind of like, it's weird if you're from...
You could throw a rock and hit the Empire State Building.
It's weird that you're from like an hour away from like the biggest city in the country, but like it's not, I don't know, you're not in there, but it's right there. It's a very weird situation to grow up in. So, motto of this town, they're trying to get away from their old reputation, because they only have a reputation for the Amityville horror case. That's all they have. So, motto here, trying to get away from that. And this is good. This will do it, I think. Quote, not just for Guido murderers anymore. Exclamation point. I think that's a good one. I think that's going to do the trick, guys. Good job, Amityville.
Do they have a slogan?
No, they don't have a slogan. They're like, we just...
No, it doesn't matter.
We're just going to lie low. That's our slogan.
No amount of words is going to change this.
No, not at all here. The history of this town.
We're better now, anything.
We swear it's not that haunted, but...
or that story's fake. Fucking anything.
Yeah, well, the murder story was real. We'll talk about that for a second in the history part here. But this place was first settled around 1653.
Wow.
So this is anytime we do Northeast, it's very old. It was people from Huntington, which was another town. They visited the Amityville area in 1653 due to it's had a lot of salt hay that they used for animal fodder. You look, it's salt meadow cordgrass, also known as salt hay. I looked this up. Is a species of cordgrass native to the Atlantic coast of the Americas, from Newfoundland south along all the way down to the Caribbean.
Really?
So yeah, it's just grass that grows near water. That's all.
But it grows near the ocean.
Yeah, that kind of tall, weedy looking shit. Not that tall, but knee high, weedy looking shit that grows.
Like it's got bugs in it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. That's a good way to put it.
You want to jump over because you're like, I don't know, it's going to get around my ankles.
Yeah. Apparently it's in the marshlands of all over the world. Also, people would anywhere it's been introduced, it takes over too. It's one of those things.
And they feed it to animals.
The animals would eat that. It was good for them apparently, or they liked it. I don't know if it was good for them. They're probably dropping dead left and right. It's the 1600s. They used leeches. They didn't know shit.
Twisting up their intestines.
A Chief Wyandanch was a local Native American fellow here who granted the first deed to land in Amityville in 1658. This area was originally called Huntington West Neck South, which is a really long fucking too much name there. Way too much name. According to the village lore, I love when things start out with according to village lore. That always makes me confident. The name was changed in 1846 when residents wanted a new post office. Like, we need another fucking post office. That one's too far away, but to get another one, we need to have a separate town to get another post office plunked down here. There's not enough people in that one town. Whatever.
That's the worst lore story I've ever heard.
Well, yeah. So basically they had a meeting to establish a new name, and apparently it turned into a big fucking giant argument because these are idiots from Long Island. It's a bunch of fucking Goomba Guido shitbags with fucking...
From the 1600s?
All the guys I grew up with, and my uncles and cousins were all there with their fucking, with their horns on their neck on the same chain as their fucking communion medal. You know what I'm talking about, that guy. They're all there fucking with their tank tops, arguing with each other, hopping in their Z28 T-tops on the way out and speeding off because they're pissed off. I ain't listening to this fucking guy. Forget about it. I'm getting out of here. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's the group of people that discussed the post office.
They discussed that. And apparently somebody without a gold chain stood up and said, quote, what this meeting needs is some amity. And another version of it says that somebody had a boat named the Amity, and so either way, they wanted it to be nice.
Do we know what an amity is?
It's just we need to get along, basically.
That's what amity is?
Yeah, it's a nice thing. So, some
pleasantries.
That's what I mean. It's ridiculous. So that's how this whole thing started. It was in the early 1900s. It was tourists came here. They had hotels and shit and things to look at, and it's right by the water. So people came here. Plus, there's like canals all through here. People boat and fish and do things like that. There's a lot of water activities in Amity.
So treating people right town.
It's
and it's known for murder.
Let's not be fuckheads. And then lots of murders.
And it's known for murder.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
What are you going to do? Jesus Christ. Annie Oakley was a frequent guest of some guy that lived here. He was a famous Western person.
She's a great shooter.
Yeah, there you go. Will Rogers had a home there also. And Al Capone also had a house in Amityville because his wife is from here.
Really?
So it's his wife's hometown.
Was that who gave him that syphilis?
I believe, well, he probably gave it to her. Yeah. I'll put it that way.
Certainly.
Or probably not. He's probably like, never mind. I don't need that.
Not now.
Not now. They've all been dead. So again, nothing can be done here. They've had a sister city in France, Le Bourget in France since 1979, which we never understand why. We've been asking why nations do this and cities do this for 100 episodes. We have no fucking idea.
To promote each other.
Nice. To promote you in a small town in France. Because that's going to really blow up the tourist industry.
Podcasters going, I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and then they talk about the podcast.
Podcasts with 14 listeners talk about another podcast with 14 listeners, and maybe by the end of the day we'll both have 18 listeners. So that's pretty much what we got here.
All right.
So November of 1974 is the murder in this town here, and this is Ronald DeFeo Jr. Shot his whole family up. Now, there's a million things about this, so we won't go too deep into this whole deal, but basically he claims, and no one claims to have heard gunshots, and he shot him with like a very loud gun. I think it was a 10 gauge, but something like that. A gun with some serious report to it.
Got it.
That people in a quiet suburban neighborhood might have heard.
Yeah.
Especially that one that's like on the water where it would have echoed for fucking miles. So, and also all of them appeared to be shot while sleeping, which makes no sense either, because you'd think after they shot the first one and even the second, third, that maybe somebody would wake the fuck up and go, hey, what's going on? And then they wouldn't be shot while sleeping.
Or at minimum they hide.
Or the minimum they tried to hide, or you see them running off the bed, but they all were shot in their beds while sleeping, like with no defense wounds or anything like that. So it's a weird thing. That's why this guy, this fucking Guido idiot, Ronald DeFeo Jr., he says, that it was something paranormal, and he has like 14 different stories about what happened, and the whole deal. Everything from ghosts to it was a mob hit.
Got it.
Everything from that to that. Who the fuck knows? But the main thing happened in December 1975. George and Kathy Lutz and their kids bought that house and moved into it. It's at 112. It was at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amity.
Torn down now?
Amityville. No. We'll talk about that in a second here. And basically, they made up a whole bunch of shit to try to make some money. They moved in, and within a month they claimed to have been terrorized by ghosts and poltergeists, and you see there's fucking multiple movies about it with the flies on the window and all that shit they claim. And then so they got a guy to write a fucking book about it, and it seems like this was probably the plan from the moment they bought the home. I would imagine, because within a month the ball is rolling to get all this shit here.
It's a more sinister Bubble Boy.
It's kind of what it is. Yeah, it's way more sinister. But they had a novel and then films and everything else. Nowadays, though, the address has changed. It's kind of like OJ's house. They changed the address because too many people were
off.
Throw people out. We found it.
We found
OJ's
easily.
house. No problem. Oh, there it is.
That's the one.
That's the one right there. Okay.
And me being a dipshit thinking I know, I remember things about it from 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, he went down this road, James, and then we're like, no, it's actually over there.
Yeah, he went here and over to there. What are you talking? He parked here, not there, Jimmy. So,
this looks so familiar. I saw this on CNN.
I saw it somewhere on the 45 documentaries, and I heard all about it on every bit of the court proceedings I watched.
I'm as good of an investigator as Furman, because
you're racist and sloppy.
I could have solved it as well as he did.
You'd have just blamed a black guy, no matter what. Also. And yes, OJ did kill his wife also.
He certainly did.
And again, I don't think Furman would have cared either way. I think he would have been happy either way for OJ. It's a Stephen Avery situation.
It really is.
I think it's one of those. But it happens. So, this house here was built in 1927. In May 2010, it sold for $1.15 million.
Wow.
It's like backed up against the water. It's a big house. It's a nice house. And then it sold in September 2018, again, this past year, for $950,000.
Oh, it's dropping.
Because the market's hitting the shits back, back east especially. People from here, they claim Alec Baldwin, which I've heard Alec Baldwin multiple times say he's from Massapequa. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about here. I don't know
where the fuck he's from. I know I saw a video of him from like America's Funniest Home Videos or some shit or whatever it was. Anyway, he was running around on like in like grassy area.
That's Long Island.
But
it's the whole
it was
thing. It's all grass.
It looks like Kansas. It doesn't look like
New
York.
Yeah, there's no hills or anything. Yeah. It's literally a swath of flat grassland that they've plunked large houses on, and anyone of the Italian or Jewish persuasions have taken over. That's pretty much what it is.
Sounds good.
So I have heard him say Massapequa because him and Jerry Seinfeld always say they're from the same town, and I know Jerry's from Massapequa too. De La Soul is from here.
Oh,
fuck yeah! So
the whole group
is from. Yeah, most rap groups are guys that kind of grew up together. Yeah. So especially in the 90s, I don't know. Now they probably formed them, but in the 90s it was more organic. And De La Soul, which is great. May Capone, who is Al Capone's wife. There a bunch of Trey Mason, who currently plays for the Los Angeles Rams. A bunch of like former baseball players and NFL players. A bunch of people are from here. That sort of thing. Nobody of that of an astronaut. That sort of shit. Tony Graffinino,
all from Amity,
the second baseman or for whatever he was for the Red Sox a while ago. Yeah, that sort of shit. So I mean, nobody that, but more people that should be from here. Put it that way. Town populations held pretty steady since about 1970. Pretty much 1960, it's pretty much been the same. Population right now, 9,486 people in Amityville, which is up 2% since 1990. So it's not that highly populated for Long Island's not that dense. It's bigger houses with lawns and shit like that. That's why people moved out there. That's why there is a Long Island, because people in the city went, I really would like a lawn, and they were like, well, this shitty island is available. We can just put houses on it.
We're gonna plant cabbage.
Yeah, well, you can plant anything out here. It's a piece of shit. So median age here is 46.2. A little older crowd on Long Island here. You're not going to get a lot of 20-year-olds moving there for a good time. Average in the country is 37.4. Female population is 54.5%, which is high, which is kind of how it goes for when you have an older population. That's what you get. All the age groups over 55 are higher than normal. Every single one of them, all the way up to in their 90s. It's all higher than normal, and all like the 25 to 45 age groups are all lower. So it's
do a lot of people that live in New York City and make like a bunch of money move out there to retire?
Well,
that's what it is.
It's not even to retire. Also, it's they live in New York City, they work, they do all this shit, and then when they're 43, they get married, and then they live in the city for a couple of years. Then they decide we want to have a kid. But fuck, we need a yard. So
can't raise a kid in the city.
When they're 45, they have a couple bucks. They fucking move out to Long Island and get up. That's the migration pattern of the New York.
It is
Guido.
Bizarre walking
the New York Guinea migration pattern. This is now a nature show.
It is bizarre
when they're very old, then they go down the coast to Florida. Sorry, that's where they die. They mate in this area, and then they swim upstream to Long Island, and then they float down the ocean to Florida to die.
And we've played New York, walking around the city, seeing an adult walking children while a homeless guy is playing with his balls in the corner. On the corner. Not in the corner, on the fucking corner.
On the corner.
I'm like, how do you do this?
Hey, you know what?
Why do you do this?
Those kids, when they grow up, they don't look twice at a guy playing with his balls. That's the thing. Yeah, you got it. It steals you to certain shit.
It's
that 5-year-old's more streetwise than you are.
He really is.
It's great.
He'd probably beat the shit out of him.
And he might. He'll cut you. Not gonna lie to you. So
it's just a bizarre thing to see, and I get famous people being able to do it because you got places you can take them during the day.
Yeah.
But like you're just dropping that kid just off at a daycare center, and you have to walk them to that daycare center past fucking lunatics.
Yeah,
legit lunatics.
Imagine having your groceries with you too,
and you're so just vulnerable.
Oh yeah,
your hands are just occupied.
Your kids with you. You're fucking
just get
mess.
rolled. Your kids get kidnapped, and all your shit's gone.
That's life, babe. That's life in the big city. That's how it works.
And that's a rush for people. people. They like that.
Hey,
fuck that life. No way.
That's the dream, Jimmy. So
moving to the big city for that shit.
For that shit. Married population here is almost 55%. So this is a crowd. So that's above average. This is a settled crowd. We'll say a settled down crowd. More now married than normal. Less never married people than normal. Lower divorce rate than normal.
Okay.
A little higher widow rate because of the age here. Married with no children is higher because you have your older people here.
Yeah.
And single with no children is a good amount lower than normal also. So it's not the place to go party and hang out here. Racially, race of this town, now average in the country is 62.77% white. Here it's 67.29% white.
Okay.
So you're going to get that. 9.4% black, which is almost average. Average is 12%. But in New York, there, it's an hour from the city. That seems on purpose at that point. 1.83% Asian, so not a lot of Asians there either, and 18, almost 19% Hispanic.
Okay.
So that's where you're going to fill in your gaps there.
That's an interesting breakdown.
Yeah, it is. Well,
I would have never guessed it like that.
Really? Yeah. Well, Hispanics in New York, you're going to get everybody from the Caribbean, your Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cuba. Yeah, you're going to get everybody.
It's just, that's a fascinating breakdown. It seems higher in areas where I wouldn't expect, and then much lower in black and Asian. New York has so many Asian things.
No, it's true. There's a lot of Asian people in New York. That's why.
What I mean.
That's where all those restaurants
own and
come
run
from.
that shit.
Well, yeah,
it's all
why they're Asian,
right?
Otherwise, they'd be Panda Expresses at that point,
or fucking KFC.
Yeah,
but
one of those.
These people are these people. Jesus,
it's good. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host Andrew Jackson. These people. I think you just mentioned Kentucky Fried Chicken in the same sentence as black people.
I'm a real.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't mean it that way, but the way it came out, I'm like, did he? I don't know.
I was seeing white people running them as a sentence that I said black people. So that was nice.
That was perfect.
It's just those restaurants are run by the families of the people that
generally,
founded them, right? And you just assume that they'd be higher. That's all.
I agree.
And you own a restaurant, you probably have plenty of money to live out on Long Island and commute into the city.
I would hope so.
And not have to put up with dragging your kids around the street while a lunatic tugs his dick.
While someone plays with their balls on the corner. Jesus Christ. Yeah, any street too. Nothing's exempt. Nothing's exempt. No, you could right outside Trump Tower, Secret Service guys be like, let me show you my balls.
Guy with a pigtail earbud.
Tell your little microphone that my balls are huge and veiny. So, in religion in this town here, very high religious-wise, very high. 50-50 is normal. Here it is 72.6% religious.
Right.
You're gonna get settled down people with kids and all that. 60% Catholic.
You bet.
60 Catholics, the Baptists of the North.
That is
holy shit. That's a lot of. That is the most we've ever had. I think of anybody. 1.4% Jewish. Hava Nagila. Hey. Finally, our only second time, I think, since small town murder history, I've gotten to sing Hava Nagila because we have more than 1% Jewish.
And it's 1.7.
1.4.
Oh, barely.
But still, it's something. It's something. We're gonna call it a win for right now. There's more than 1%. That's good. 1.3% Islam. 44% of the people in Amityville voted Democrat in the last election. 51% Republican. So that kind of shows you it's older and more money there because New York generally is pretty blue.
Yeah.
And here it's not. Okay. So the majority of the people, the upstate, the mass of it in terms of land is pretty red, and then where all the people are is blue because the cows' votes don't count yet. Up there. You never know, though.
Give it time.
If you've seen Western New York, they might give the cows the vote. It is West fucking Virginia out there. Anything west of the Hudson's West Virginia, New York. Don't even come at me with any of this shit. You know it's true.
Yeah.
If you can trudge out of the snow, the 5 feet of snow pushed up against your door, you can come argue with me about it.
Give Mitt Romney some time. He wants that presidency.
You know it.
So bad. He's going to get only the big ones. Only the ones with horns, but we'll let him vote.
We'll let him vote. That's all right. Unemployment rate here is low, 3.9%. 5.2 is normal, but you're an hour away from a giant city, so you can probably fucking find a job somewhere. Here. Median household income, usually $54,000 is the national average. Here it is $81,135.
My word.
So much higher here. A lot of jobs in, there's a retail trade, but there's a lot of healthcare jobs. business, and also like a lot of white collar jobs, not in this town, but the people commute to these jobs. So what jobs are in this town is really kind of pointless when you have New York City right there. Cost of living 100 being regular average par. Here it is 131. Okay. So pretty high. Everything is pretty normal actually, except for housing, which is through the roof.
Okay.
Housing here is
I thought you were going to say it was low.
No, 175 out of 100. No, Long Island's expensive as shit to live on compared to the rest of the country. Median home cost here is $326,600.
How do you do it?
Which that's pretty expensive.
You wake up every day with so much stress.
So much stress. Yeah, most of the houses are between $400,000 and $600,000, or $300,000 and $600,000. And if we've convinced you, the only place for you to live is Amityville, New York, we have for you the Amityville, New York Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is $2,250.
Oh my God!
Which is $1,000 more than the national average. So pretty high as far as rentals go. Houses here. I found a condo. Yeah. I look for a value, a middle, and a high. Yeah. My value this week. I found a condo. It's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Jimmy, 1,100 square feet. You're gonna love it. Full of granite, brand new. Hasn't even been built yet.
Can I guess?
It's go ahead.
It hasn't been built. Oh my! You can design it.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, they have a plan.
Is it 320?
No, it's 185.
Oh, that's
this
not
is
bad.
Your bargain. 1,100 square feet. It's an apartment. You know. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,567 square foot house here for $439,000. Yeah. So that's expensive for that. Yeah. And I also found a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3,500 square foot house. Nice yard and shit like that. $699,990. Say 700, you pussies. Enough. Jesus.
What's that $10 gonna do?
Come on.
Jesus.
Assholes.
Take a sawbuck off it.
Get out of here. So, fucking assholes. That's some Guido going, hey, you know what? If we say they're going to think it's more then. They're going to say 700,000. That's too much fucking money. But if we do 699, they're going to go, hey, 699. It's in the sixes.
Not so bad.
It's in the sixes. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ. That's going to come out a lot today.
$10 off of 700 grand.
Assholes. Like it's a fucking DVD player from like it's $199.99 in 1998. Jesus Christ.
Ridiculous.
Make it seem cheaper. Things to do here. They had I don't know if they do this every year or if they just did it this one year, but it's pretty fascinating. They had a missile launch parade.
What?
This was celebrating the first successful guided missile launch, which occurred a century ago in the village in the Independence Day parade, which is...
What are they, North Korea?
That's what I mean. This is so weird.
What the fuck are they? Why would you celebrate that?
It's so strange. Yeah, they celebrated that in 2016, and there was a guy, this Sperry guy, who was, I guess he made the initial tests on the radio-controlled torpedo, and this was a forerunner to cruise missiles of what we have now. And this Sperry guy apparently was a lunatic. He's one of these guys in 1914-15 who would fly over Paris in his plane and put it on autopilot and get out and walk on the wing.
He's
one of those lunatics that they...
That's a thing?
Those crazy daredevil shit that used to go on back then. Guys dancing on top of flagpoles and shit. I don't know what it was about that time period. They just did crazy shit like that.
Why have I never heard that? Put it on autopilot, get out of the plane.
And then walk around on the wing and then get back in it. That was like I'd be like, get back in there. You're going to crash and kill all of us on the ground.
Right. If you fall off, then what?
Yeah.
I don't care about you. What happens to that fucking plane?
Well, he ended up getting killed in a crash in the English Channel in 1923. So fuck him. Yeah. Take that, asshole.
Is it Sperry again?
Yeah.
Is that the second episode in a row where we've had a dude named
there's
Sperry?
A Sperry there, yeah.
Sperry shoes. That's what I said last time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Also, haunted shit. They claim to be, that's one of the deals here. They have a new address for the stupid house, and people come in and they still find it and they take pictures. It's fucking fake. Don't bother. It's also a state hospital and some other bullshit they say is haunted, but I'm not buying any of the shit from this town.
I love people that don't believe in Jesus. Like they're just it's not a real story. It's not. Yeah. But then they'll go ghost hunting. You're an asshole.
Well, they're not this. I don't know why Jesus would have to be in charge of the spirit world. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
No, my point is that you can't say that a guy came back. And all the dead stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes that story impossible. But then they go hunt ghosts. Which is it? Do you believe in them or don't you? You fuckwad.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But I think the religion thing is you're saying if you said, say, I saw the ghost of my father, your father existed.
That's a good point.
Is the difference. Yeah. Whereas it's pretty we're questionable on the other. So let's just say that we're not going to get into religion here. Okay. Crime rate in this town. What we're interested in. Property crime is just below the national average, maybe about 10% low. And violent crime, which is murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is just over the national average, just about 10% over. So they won't steal your shit as much, but they'll stab you if you're there.
For sure.
That sort of thing. So let's talk about a murder that took place in this town.
Fantastic.
Jesus Christ, what a goddamn mess this is. Okay. Oh my goodness here. Well, we'll start out with Leanne Armanini, sorry. Okay. Jesus Christ. Leanne Armanini.
You found Guidos too.
I found fucking this whole fucking story is filled with dipshit Amityville Guidos. So this is amazing.
Guidos and Guidettes, is that what they're called?
That's Guidettes, you know it, absolutely. So Armanini here, she's born in 1967. Yeah. She grows up in normal kind of childhood for back then. Nothing crazy happened to her.
In the town?
Near there, but not here.
Okay.
Not in Amityville. She has 3 brothers and sisters. Parents that are together. Her parents will break up later at some point because her mother, I know later on, is a lesbian. So
awesome.
Something happened there.
Good for her.
I'm not sure. Yeah, she decided to live her true life here, I guess, and drop David and whatever. So,
but that also, the 60s, 70s, 80s.
That people hid that
shit. Right.
Yeah, people would hide that shit, and then when it started to be acceptable, then people were like, "What am I hiding anymore?
Right.
I'm 55 years old. I want to
let this guy grind his dick into me. I don't even like that.
Me and this other old broad want to fucking shack up together. What do you care? You know what I mean?
It's your business.
What the hell do you give a shit?
The only person that should be upset is that dude who just got lied to for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and even then he's like, well, at least it's not.
Go be happy.
It's not as bad as if it was. So anyway,
unless he's a Guido who's got some feelings to be hurt.
Oh, my dick's not good enough. My dick's so bad, Johnny, listen to me. This is how bad my dick is, all right? My dick is so bad that it made a girl not like dicks no more. That's how bad it is. She just said, that dick was terrible. I don't think I want to see another one.
No more.
You know what I mean? That's bad, Johnny.
It's a bad dick.
I feel like an asshole now. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I go out with a chick. I'm like, I don't want to take it out because I'm just going to drive her to the other side. You know what I mean? It's terrible.
If one girl leaves you for a woman, it could happen. Yeah, but 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a bad dick.
That's a dick problem.
That problem's you, sir. Yeah, you're turning them. Stop touching women.
That's the thing. You're turning them. Right. You're causing something that's rare, even. Like it's, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Can you imagine all the ego? That hurts so bad.
She's like, I've never had a desire for girls before, but after seeing that dick, I'm gonna give it a run. I'm gonna give it a whirl.
I'm gonna give it a go for sure.
So
whatever it is that's going on over there has to be better than that.
David Armanini and his terrible cock and his wife had 4 kids, one of them being Leanne.
Right.
So Leanne Armanini, they're middle class. They grow up in Long Island. Pretty uneventful childhood, I would say. They were fine. They go on vacations and all that shit. Just a regular upbringing here. Her parents divorced when she turned 11. That was an issue, and it's a little difficult for her because she turns 11, her parents divorce, and her mother moves away to Florida. So not only does her mother move away, which is hard for an 11-year-old if your parents break up, you at least want to keep some sense of normalcy, but she's gone. And not only that, this is when she announces that not only is she actually a lesbian, but she's moving to Florida with her new partner.
She didn't even call him. She just threw a bottle in the ocean.
Take a hike. Yeah, and she said, it'll get up there eventually. Fuck these kids. So, so Leanne was left in New York at that point here. Her father ended up raising her and her brothers and sisters and ended up remarrying eventually and, whatever, returning some form of normalcy.
And Leanne's now a lesbian.
No, you know what? This story would be so much easier if she was, because it would have been a way different thing. Okay. But this definitely has an effect on her. Not the lesbianism, but just her parents being divorced, her mom moving away, is tough for her. And to be away from your mom as a kid is a tough thing. It just for any circumstances. Your dad, whatever, but it's a weird thing when you're away from your mother. Like I moved back to New York I moved to Phoenix for a year with my mom. I moved back to New York for high school to live with my dad, and so like I didn't see my mom that much, so it was really weird, It's just a weird thing that you don't expect. She ends up getting married early. By the age of 19, she's already having a divorce.
Oh boy.
So by 19, things have, not exactly what she wants, and problem is, from this, you'd think, okay, she's 19, she got a divorce, who cares? Right. Clean slate. Problem is she has a kid out of this also. No. Which, not a problem, we'll say, but it's tough. When you're 19, that's not a great time. Doesn't have an education yet and things like that. No way to make a living that would support children at this point. So she has her first son named Christopher, and she ends up raising Christopher as a single mother, but she does her best. I mean, shit. She gets through it. She gets through it. Yeah. She struggles. We were both raised by single mothers. Not easy, it fucking happens, man. Boy. Yeah, it's not easy, and money's the main issue, especially in New York if you're trying to raise a kid. Up back there, it's expensive now, but it's always been expensive. Even when I was a kid, it was more expensive than fucking Oklahoma or something, or Arizona. When my mother first moved to Arizona, it was just like, what the fuck? Like this, it's so cheap here. You can buy houses that are worth nothing. That's the problem though. When you invest it all into a house, still worth nothing. But she moved here in 91 when like you could buy a house for shit. Like you buy a huge house. $100,000 would be an amazing house. Huge house. Yeah, they bought like $130,000 or something. They bought this giant house, and it was like, what the fuck? That's like 3 times the size of the house we had in New York, which was shitty and more expensive. So yeah, very, very weird here. So money was a problem. She had a lot of financial problems, obviously, as a early 20s single parent's going to have at any time. But she gets through it. Her and her kid, her and her son, she gets through it, and she's by all accounts a pretty good mother. Okay. Everybody says so. Her father, David, says that she was very responsible, always put her son's needs first. That's great. Would make sure to be there for him, and wouldn't put her social life ahead of it, didn't put anything ahead of her son. Okay. So that's what you want out of any parent, really, especially if you're a single parent, you're throwing in for both. Sure. So she's doing a really, really good job here. Now, she doesn't have another serious boyfriend for a while. Good. Here. She keeps really, I mean, we're talking like, 9 years or so. She dates a little here and there, but never has anybody serious, just concentrates on trying to make a living and, taking care of her son. Yeah. Which is nice. Then in 1998, she meets a man. Fine. Which, I mean, hey, you know what? She's 31 years old. I mean, she's what the fuck,
12-year-old?
Yeah, she's got what the hell here? So, she meets this guy. His name is Paul Riedel. This is 1998. They meet at a gym in Long Island, which you can just smell the Axe body spray and the fucking cologne, the Paco Rabanne just dripping off of people in this fucking joint. Oh my God.
The biggest cup of creatine that she's ever seen.
For the love of Christ. You have no fucking, just guys working a dumbbell with one arm while eating a meatball fucking sub with the other. This is what kind of fucking environment what we're talking about here.
I like it.
Jesus Christ. Ugh. God damn it. This is sickening to me. You never, okay, this is what it is. And this is exactly what it is. You hate most what's inside of you. You hate, that's what you hate the most. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I hate this fucking Guido shit because that's what
you're expected to be.
I'm expected to be. Right. And it drives me crazy. And once in a while, I do want to eat some fucking meatball sub and act like a fucking Guido, and I can't. Right. Because then
somebody will stand in the corner and go, look at you.
Look at them.
Fucking Guido.
Look at these fucking Guidos. I can't have a gold chain. Maybe I want one. I can't have a necklace. Right. I can't wear a fucking ring on my finger. Like, oh, look at this fucking Guido. That's exactly what it's like. The Dave Chappelle joke about I'm afraid to eat chicken in public. Right. That's how I feel, and it's the same shit. So anyway, so that's what makes me hate these people, because they've ruined everything. They've Jersey Shored this entire fucking ethnicity. So
I hate everything to do with that whole that lifestyle. It's just the whole. You know what it is? It's. I think it's people don't like it because it's just people being super proud of everything.
Yeah, that's a.
You look like an asshole.
But it's not even that, though. There's a certain, I can't even fucking.
But the pride that they have,
the pulse of it,
is for just the Italian part of them.
Yeah,
and somebody that is not an attractive person shouldn't feel that kind of pride.
No.
And these people are not great looking people, and they act like they are the hottest thing you've ever seen.
Pigs people you're talking about. Yeah, not just Italian people in general. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ.
The Long Island pigs. That's great.
That's who you're talking about. Well, the back east. Yeah. It's a certain. We all know who we're talking about. We know the guy we're talking about.
You can see it in your head right now.
You see him right now.
You know exactly what he looks like.
Look at his communion medal on his neck. You know what I'm talking about.
Big fucking smile on his face.
Yeah. So these are
so proud.
They meet. Leanne starts working out there, and they meet, and they fall in love quickly, which is fine. Friends of Leanne said she was excessively happy. She liked Paul. He was a nice guy. He was a big, strong, fucking jacked up Guido, is what he was. He's not. I don't even think he's Italian. He might have been half Italian or something. I assume he lives on Long Island and he's at a gym. I assume he's at least half Italian,
or at least he's behaving like them.
His mother's Italian because his last name's Riedel. I don't know what happened. So, or he just grew up. But that's the other thing too. You have kids back there that I knew, the big groups that acted like this that weren't Italian at all. They just that was the culture around there.
Irish dude with dark hair.
It's all it is. They didn't fucking know. They didn't care. It's just like that's how they are. So she liked that. She liked that he was a big guy and was, a protector type, and was also nice to her, though, treated her very well, didn't beat her up or anything like that. They go out for a while, have a little relationship, I'm sure, just tons of workouts involved in this, and Jesus, just not good here.
Tell me the difference. So Italian, Sicily is in Italy, right? And
it's
it's
an island,
right.
South Italy, but they were
Sicilians are not looked at the same way as Italians, right?
No, they just each other. It's
between each other.
Between each other, it's not. Nobody looks down. They both look down on each other because they're not. They were forced to be a country.
Got it.
They're not natural. Italy and Sicily are separate, and they were. Italy was united.
The world was like, you both look the same.
You're all the same. You speak the same fucking language and all that type of shit. So they're like, here, you're one thing. So that's why they fight. And it's a different culture. It's a different thing. Sicily is a different. It's all just a different deal. Italy is so weird. Italy is a small country, but geographically, but is such different cultural pockets in it. The food's different. The shit's totally different.
I have a friend named Adam whose dad he's like off the boat Italian. He is super fucking Italian to where he like puckers his fingers talking to you when he's pissed. Yeah. And I had another friend named Eric who wore the horn in Phoenix. Yeah. No, motherfucker. You're barely.
No, I have one. I just choose not to wear it.
So Adam would make fun of Eric constantly because Eric would like embrace the Italian stuff. And Adam wouldn't, and Adam would be like, "You're not even Italian." And he's like, "I'm Sicilian." He's like, "You're the Mexican of Italians."
No,
and it would be vicious to him.
No,
and call him horrible
I
names.
think that was a personal gripe between the two of them.
Maybe they were acting out what Italians and Sicilians do right here in Phoenix.
Maybe, but like back home, it doesn't fucking matter. The older generation, it mattered. All of the fucking Guidos from the the 50s and 60s. And like the John Gotti mobsters in the 70s and 80s would be, we don't trust the Napolitanos and all this fucking nobody gives a shit now. Nobody cares. It's all in one big muddled most of them are half Irish anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, maybe Adam got that from his dad, like because his dad was a Gotti era.
That's person. Those guys. Yeah, those guys. For them, it matters. It's a big difference, but it doesn't fucking matter. And my grandmother's part both, so I grew up with her going, never mind that shit, because her family was like like half and half, so she didn't want any ball breaking.
Ask her if Italians did say that Sicilians are the Mexicans of Italians.
I doubt it, because they wouldn't have known what that meant.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great
I believe
point.
that's probably originated in Arizona by two half Irish guys eating at a chain pizza place, making fun of each other.
Eating at an Sbarro's.
Yeah, eating at a Barro's, making fun of each other. Well, this Peter Piper pizza, this ain't bad, right? Fuck out of here.
That's hilarious.
That's great. Originating in Phoenix. So she's happy with Paul. Leanne's happy with Paul. They go out for a while. Everything progresses in a positive manner, and they get engaged. Okay. So, and also too, they're both getting in their 30s, and he's interested in having a family, and so let's move this along a little bit here, type of thing here. They get engaged. Kathy, who is Leanne's stepmother, who married the father, David, bad cock and all.
She's about to be a lesbian.
Someday he's going to turn her. It takes 20 years though for that to kick in on this with this guy. She said that the family was also very pleased when they found out that they were going to get married.
Right.
The family loved Paul too, and it was somebody he did well. Also, we'll talk about his businesses and stuff like that. So he does well for himself, and she's 31 and she's got a kid, and well, it's nice for her. She's found somebody she likes. Good for her. She spent the last 10 years just taking care of this kid.
Took her time looking for him.
Took her time, found a nice kid. Paul isn't a perfect angel, mind you, as everybody back there. He's not
something cooking.
This is the one thing I love about back home. Okay, this is one thing that I truly, truly love about being back home. Like, just an example. There on your car, there's an inspection sticker back there, and we don't have it in Arizona. We only have emissions, but a lot of states have an inspection sticker. You have to go get your car inspected every year, and they give you a little sticker and whatever. So back there, I do not know anyone who's ever got that through legitimate means. I don't know a single soul who's ever pulled into a licensed service station and said, please inspect my car, given them the requisite fee, and then received the sticker in a legitimate manner. I've never heard of that happening. Ever. A guy and you give him $15 and he just gives you a sticker. You don't even have to have your car with you. That's how it works. Everything is corrupt back there, and I love that. I love corruption in that, like minor corruption in that way.
It's a victimless crime.
If we're talking about some federal, insanity where that's crazy, but this minor corruption of like, hey, I gave this guy $15 and I got my inspection sticker even though my muffler's dragging on the fucking ground. Who cares? That's just in good fun. That's the Italian in me right there. I love a good scheme. Yeah. I love shit like that. So I like that stuff.
You scream "fuck de Blasio" as you get in your car.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love that shit. Literally when I was fucking 17, I needed an inspection sticker for my '85 Oldsmobile, and I had to, I knew a guy. I think it was $15, and he gave me the sticker.
Shit, Schumer, I'm out of here.
Didn't matter. I didn't even think both my headlights worked. It didn't fucking matter. So I got a sticker slapped on. Nobody cared. It was great. So Paul, like everybody else, has a little bit of a past. It's more of a past than a lot of people do. At 19, he was arrested for drug dealing, and he spent several years in prison.
Oh, it was a lot of drug dealing.
Yeah, it wasn't like he didn't have like a few dime bags on him. This was like cocaine, and type of thing. An
apartment full of it.
He had a lot of shit going on. Yeah. So, but since he got out of prison, one thing about Paul he's very business minded, and the one thing that you can say about drug dealing is it's not easy.
Right.
Drug dealing is not easy. It's a like pain pimping. In the ass. It's like pimping in that way. It's a pain in the fucking ass. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
You have to go out and get things and come back and make shit and talk to people. And then, you have to arrange for these people to sell it and then hope this guy, can you trust that one? It's a huge headache. Sure. So it's always, if you took the effort that it takes to deal drugs and you knew where to direct it in a better direction, you could be successful.
Probably.
I mean, that's just one of those. It's a business like anything else. If you read Freeway Rick Ross's book and the way he set up an empire of drug dealing, and it's like, dude, that guy, if he knew how to read at the time, which he didn't, he could have set up a legitimate business. Certainly. But that wasn't what people wanted to buy where he was from.
Did I ever tell you I met that guy?
Really?
On accident?
Really?
I'm walking.
Oh, that's right.
Clayton Perkins out of the Improv.
Yes, that's right.
And a 15-passenger bus drives past us, and Clayton Perkins goes, "That was like Freeway Ricky Ross," and I was like, Who? I still.
Oh, you didn't know who it was?
I had no fucking idea who that guy was. The Van Parts.
By the way, Freeway Rick Ross was a drug dealer, a giant drug dealer in L.A.
Interstate. Like he used
huge,
the 10.
Huge drug trafficker in L.A. And he went to prison. And the whole time he was saying the federal government was selling me the drugs, and nobody believed him. And then a bunch of documents came out proving that the federal government was selling him the fucking drugs and basically entrapping him and everything else. And he ended up getting out of prison for that. He was serving a life sentence, and now he goes on like Joe Rogan and talks about this shit, and he's hilarious. He's awesome.
So Freeway Rick Ross gets out of the passenger van, the 15-passenger van, and starts walking towards us, and Clayton goes, that is him. And then he's selling his book. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
So
he's a little tiny motherfucker, too.
Smaller than me.
Yeah, he's tiny.
I was blown away with how small he was.
It's all he talks about in the book is how tiny he is.
So then Freeway Rick Ross gave a book to Clayton, and then went upstairs. Right. And then went upstairs to go sell him. I think Jeff Ross was on the...
What a weird combination.
He was selling his books.
Oh, Jeff Ross, Freeway Rick Ross.
Makes sense.
The Ross brothers are going to make an appearance.
There's Ross on that sign. That's me.
That's me. This is my identification. Sir, you're not Jeff Ross, though. He's on stage right now. It doesn't matter.
The thing that I learned that night was that Clayton Perkins is not to be fucked with because he knows...
Because he's 6'5" and 300 pounds of muscle? Yeah, you're right. Clayton Perkins is a comedian in Phoenix, and he's a gigantic human being. And a sweet guy, but a gigantic monster of a human being. Great comic, too. It was funny as shit.
And he is not to be fucked with, not just because of that, but because he recognizes people like Freeway Rick Ross on like a glance.
Well,
in a 15-passenger van that a man that's so popular and famous should never be riding in.
That's hilarious.
If you saw a 15-passenger van and was like...
special ed kids on a field trip.
If you saw Sylvester Stallone in there, you'd be like, that guy kind of looked like Sylvester Stallone. And
must
you'd
be
keep
an impersonator,
walking. There's no way you'd be like, that's definitely
the Freeway Rick Ross. You go, maybe. Maybe. It's possible.
He saw a glance of the man in a beanie cap and like homeless clothes and was like, that guy's Freeway. I'm like, no, who? What are you talking about?
That's
and then
amazing.
it's legit him.
That's awesome.
Bananas.
That's awesome. Well, he wasn't quite Freeway Rick over here, but he goes to jail for a few years. Like I said, though, ambitious, and when he gets out, he turns his efforts into legitimate business, which is good. That's what you want out of people when they get out of prison and try to reform themselves, and he does that. He gets out, he opens up a gym when he gets out of prison called Dolphin Fitness Club. It's with this I don't know, Dolphin. I don't know why it's Dolphin. Maybe they're big Miami Dolphins fans. I'm not sure.
He was like, look at my cock in these tight pants. It looks like a dolphin.
You can see I call it my dolphin head. Hey, she got a camel toe, I got a dolphin head. Don't worry about it. You like my dolphin head popping out, baby? Look at that. Hey.
He's doing his curls. Oh. Like, I'm presenting.
Oh, sweetheart. Look at my pants. I got a dolphin head popping out for you, honey. Oh, all right.
Come here and kiss the dolphin.
Why don't you rub some fucking oil on me? I'm going to flex in the mirror. What do you say, sweetheart? All right.
I call that a bottlenose.
Hey. Oh. Come pet Flipper, sweetheart. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Come on. Now spot me.
Unbelievable.
So this fucking idiot here, he's not a fucking idiot. He got out of jail and opened up a business. Whatever. He opens up a business with his best friend, a guy named Alex Algieri. And he and Alex are best friends, very close. They look similar. They're both kind of dark-haired, muscled-up dudes. They're just very similar guys, and they grew up together and they're friends. And that's how people are when they grow up together. They're kind of similar. They even drive the same car.
Oh no.
They both drive GMC Yukons of the same color and everything. Like they like each other. They're whatever. They're best friends. So they open up Dolphin Fitness Club in Amityville, New York. This is where the Amityville comes in. It's a 24-hour gym, centered around weightlifting. Not so much Stairmasters and shit like that, although they have that, but it's a musclehead gym. Is how everybody says. Both the owners are both jacked up muscle guys and all that sort of thing. The business is thriving from the start. It becomes very popular very quickly. It's one of those things. If you find like a niche there, they found the bodybuilding niche. And also, too, these guys are bodybuilders around here, so they probably know all these people and say, hey, we're opening up a gym that's going to cater to our type of guy and whatever the fuck. So
call it Dolphin.
We'll call it Dolphin Fitness, because your cock pops out of your shorts when you're doing things.
Otherwise, it's the most feminine name ever for a meathead gym.
It is. Hey, your dolphin head's peeking out of the bottom of your shorts there, guy. Be careful, all right? So, the business is thriving. Paul is doing very well financially, too, out of this whole thing. He and Alex are making a lot of money off of this gym. Leanne is happy about this.
Absolutely.
She's like, this is great. All of a sudden, he's got a lot of money, and she's she comes in after he's already established the gym and all that. So, she comes in and this is like a whole new lifestyle for her she went from having a hard time paying her rent, being a single mother, and she moves in with this guy and he's got plenty of money and doesn't mind taking care of her and the kid and everything else. So
I have a teenager whose bills are about to fucking multiply exponentially.
She's happy and he's very nice to her too. Besides all that too, they have a nice relationship. They like each other. He's nice to her. July 1998, they have a big church wedding.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a big affair. It's a big fucking Long Island Guido wedding.
Big Catholic.
Oh, Maron, this fucking wedding. Oh, forget about it with this fucking wedding. We're gonna have the nicest fucking wedding you ever seen. The ice sculptures in this fucking place. You don't understand. I don't care if you're just gonna throw them out. Get the fuck out of here. We're having ice sculptures. My daughter's not getting married without fucking ice sculptures. Sorry.
It ain't a wedding unless she ruins a dress with
She's
that.
She's going to destroy it.
Pasta sauce.
Hey,
the gravy.
You don't even know. You have no idea.
Yeah.
We're having linguine and clams. Red clams. None of this white bullshit. We're having linguine and red clams. That's what we're doing.
Better get a red dress, sweetheart.
That's right. Hey, sweetheart, you ever think of wearing a red dress to the wedding? Because I'm having clam sauce. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in the mood.
That's fantastic.
So, oh, Jesus Christ. So he also... At this point, Paul has an ownership. This is weird. He and Leanne live in a house in Babylon, which is a close town here. And the deed to the home was in Leanne's father's name. I don't know if he didn't have the credit, just getting out of prison to buy a house, but had the money to do it, basically. His name wasn't on the deed, and the mortgage and the taxes were paid through Leanne's father, David, and his terrible cock. And then...
That poor guy.
Sorry, David. David Armanini's cock is fine.
It's
terrific.
We think.
It's, you know what?
So we hear.
It's a dolphin head like no other. We'll put it that way. It'll just come out and swim right at you, but friendly, in a friendly manner. It'll go, make those dolphin noises, and you'll like it. You'll like it. So
or it whispers,
he's gonna do it.
Or it whispers, you probably like women now.
Yeah, either one. Either or. Depends on the day.
Right.
So eventually the mortgage and the taxes and everything everything was transferred into Leanne's name without Paul's knowledge. So the father ended up transferring everything to Leanne, but Paul didn't know that. He thought eventually it would be transferred to his name, which is weird. He has 50-50 ownership in the Dolphin Fitness Club with Alex Algieri, like we said. He also owns a tanning salon. Whoa.
What?
A Long Island tanning salon. That is the you ever see Arachnophobia?
Yeah.
Where they have the epicenter of the main
the farmhouse,
the main nest of spiders. That's the main nest of Guidos. They come from a tanning salon on Long Island. That's where they come from. When
like
you leave,
honeycomb, like a beehive,
they fucking everywhere. That's where the queen lives, right there. And she's tanned and her hair is huge. And she's got giant earrings, and she's handing out fucking horns on the way out to wear around your necklace. So
bleached blonde, black hair
Christ.
That's just gold, because it doesn't get blonde. Damn it!
No, that doesn't
Your
happen.
hair's too dark.
Hey, let me tell you something, everybody. I don't want to hear anybody bitching about us making fun of like fucking Southern cultures or, you know what I mean, fucking trailer trash or this or that, because I think I'm taking my shit to task pretty fucking hard right now. My last name is Pietragallo. Everybody I fucking grew up with is a bunch of Guidos. My whole family's a bunch of these people. So
it's true. They steal steak knives.
It's true. You know that. You've seen it. I'm telling you. And they'll carry it around just in case.
Carry around on the streets.
Just in case. City. You never know.
So let me tell you, this is the best knife in town.
Yeah. That's
why do you have
these are my relatives. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Jimmy has met these people. So believe me, nothing is sacred is what I'm getting at. We're not sensitive.
Has the restaurant name on the blade, man.
Well, that's what makes it nicer, apparently. That's how I know I stole it.
Yeah.
So I'll always know. I'll always remember that rush I got out of stealing this fucking thing. This is what I'm talking about. I love it. I love these people. They're fucking nuts. They're the greatest people in the world, though, because if you said, hey, take that knife and stab that guy for me, you'd be like, where you want him, the ribs or in the neck, or where should I get him? What'd he say to you? How bad was it? Was it a rib or a neck? Was it bad? He called you an asshole. Oh, I'm going to get him in the neck. All right. I thought he bumped into you by accident. Then I'll just get him in the ribs. They're very loyal people.
What organ
people.
You want me to put it?
I'll put an organ out. I don't mind. So Paul owns the Dolphin Fitness Center, owns a tanning salon, and he keeps some cash handy.
Yeah.
Here on deck. Some is a
yeah.
So I'm underplaying it.
Yeah.
He keeps $140,000 in cash at Leanne's grandmother's house. And he keeps $140,000 in cash in a safety deposit box.
Over $250,000.
Yeah, in a safe deposit box, he has that, to which, when they first get married, Leanne has total access to this. It's basically a casino, Ace Rothstein and Sharon Stone situation with less money. Is exactly, and that's what you can tell that's what he's setting up, too. Yeah. He's like, I've seen casino. Right. This is what you do. You keep a bunch of cash over here in an easily accessible thing, and then you get a safety deposit box. You have one key, you give it to your wife in case somebody kidnaps you, and then you're going to need money.
If he starts calling Leanne Ginger, we know that's for sure.
We know this is a fucking problem.
Ginger?
Yeah. I feel like that's where he got it from. Yeah. And he told his friend Alex, he's like, I got a great fucking idea. Let's do the De Niro. You want to do the De Niro? I think we should do the De Niro. Jesus Christ.
I hope Alex doesn't turn into Pesci in this. This is getting real bad.
That's fucking great.
This is getting steep. This is a steep mountain that can fall.
Yeah, crumble to the ground. An avalanche of hair gel and Paco Rabanne.
So much oil and grease.
Fall down. Jesus Christ. And clam sauce. So they're married for a few months, and everything is going great, I guess, here. And Leanne finds out that she's pregnant. Pregnant with her second child and their first, and everybody's thrilled. Yeah. Her parents are thrilled. The family's thrilled. Everybody's fucking as excited as can be about this. Nothing but happiness here.
Okay.
Problem is, Paul is kind of cracking a little bit. Well, I don't know if he's Well, yeah, we're going to call it cracking for a reason. He owns this business and he's got a lot of stuff going on, and he just thinks he's a modern day Guido of all trades, I feel like. And he starts to use drugs again, specifically, loves some crack cocaine.
No.
So he starts smoking a bunch of crack. Crack that beer, speaking of crack, Jimmy. There you go. So he starts using a lot of crack, which is a problem for anybody, usually, but he's got a lot of cash, and that's the thing with drugs and money. If you have money, then drugs aren't really, it doesn't present itself as a huge problem unless you're getting arrested or something like that. It's just
a lot of times guys that go to prison and then get out and have a legit business end up going back to whatever.
They're like, well, fuck, I can do this again now.
I'm so flush with cash.
I have cash.
I can turn this into much more.
I can do that. Well, not even to deal drugs. He's doing drugs. He's not selling them. He's doing them.
But eventually he's going to want to deal them, right?
But he doesn't have time, I don't think, at this point. His businesses take a lot of
crack is a choice.
Crack is a choice, I think. So
that's not a choice.
Well, for him, I think
he usually do that as a necessity.
I would like to smoke crack. For him, it's not. He's just like, I think crack would be nice to smoke right now. I like Coke. Crack is cheaper. This is great.
It's a bananas decision.
It's a higher high. Well, not cheaper, but a little cheaper. So now Pat, Leanne's mother, Pat claims that Leanne told her about Paul's drug use and said that, she would always talk about it. She goes, I know Paul's using drugs and I don't know how to stop it. And she's upset about it, as a wife would be, as any partner would be of someone who's smoking crack on the side.
You would hope so, anyway.
You'd be worried.
Unless you're doing it with him.
Especially if you're pregnant with the child and he's got businesses and you have a house and all this stuff. You're like, I'd appreciate it if he didn't smoke crack as much as he does. I don't know. Everything else is fine, I suppose. She told her mother about a number of incidents that took place that would have Leanne driving around in the middle of the night trying to find Paul and bring him home because he's out partying. She said, the mother said that on one occasion Leanne told her that Leanne followed him to the location where he was going to buy drugs and then jumped out all pregnant and hysterical to stop the drug deal from happening and stop him from buying some more crack. So this is a big pregnant woman jumping out going, don't buy the crack. Like, what a fucking scene.
Right.
This is illegal, right? Can we maybe get your marital shit? Maybe you guys can talk about this after we're done with this illegal transaction.
How about you don't draw attention to what we're doing right here, sir?
A hysterical, yelling, heavily pregnant woman draws attention in a parking lot.
Right.
I mean, maybe not on Long Island, though. That's probably very normal. It's just everyone's loud anyway, so it doesn't matter. So she wanted Paul to get off drugs. Obviously, she told her mother she thought the baby would make things better. Mm-hmm. She's like, because babies that always makes things better. Like we've talked about before. If you have a stressful life and a tough relationship, a baby is the thing to introduce into it. Something that is more stressful than anything else you're dealing with. Right. It'll make you forget you're both human beings, and you'll turn into zombies that are there to serve its infant master, and that's it. Serve their infant master. That's what you're
true.
like. That's it.
It's so true. So, God, Jesus, you're such a slave to, as an adult, you're a slave to something that can't even do anything itself.
It can't do shit. It can do nothing. And literally, if you had it up in your hands and just moved your hands aside, it would die.
It's over.
It would just fall and die.
That's
how fragile it is. Right. And we just take care of it, which is what you should do if you have one.
Every noise it makes, we start running to whatever it needs.
So, I mean, if everything is great, it's still going to be difficult. Yeah. If you're smoking crack and your relationship is stressful, then probably not the best thing.
That's nuts.
So she said that Leanne told her mother apparently that she thought the baby coming out and being there physically would be Paul's wake up call that, I got to stop smoking crack now because I got to babysit, I suppose.
That works.
So
macaroni and cheese to make. I
can't be doing this. Jesus Christ, I can't be smoking crack. I got to feed some mashed carrots to a baby.
There have been so many times that I was with those kids and
you wanted to smoke crack, and you're like, I can't smoke crack now.
No, completely out of energy. I'm just like, I could really at least use some crack.
Yeah,
right now.
That's the thing
crack
too.
Could really help.
Crack would help you as a parent. They should give it to you at the hospital when you leave with the baby. They should go, well, here's a month's supply of crack to keep you awake and going.
You're not going to sleep anyway.
You're not going to sleep anyway. At least this way you won't want to sleep. It'll be better for you. And Paul apparently seemed really excited about this child. And then they found out it was going to be a boy, which I'm sure that made him really excited. He's like, it's a fucking boy. Yeah. Hey, look at this. I made one with a dick on it. I got a kid with a dolphin head coming out. I like it. So I
did a reveal party and everything. Blue shit sprayed all over that fucking
it's going to be wonderful. Yeah, this is great. So the child is born. They name him Nicholas. And Paul asks his best friend, Alex Algieri, to be the godfather, which is, of course, a big deal back there. So, he asks him to be the godfather. Algieri is thrilled to be the godfather because this is that's a position of honor for your friend. That's showing how close you are, and that he's family, basically. So,
and he named the kid Nicky.
Little Nicky.
There he is.
I have many cousins.
This is insane.
Many cousins.
This is the most Guido story ever.
I have Nickies and Vinnies. And my whole family is Nickies and Vinnies and Tommies and Jimmies. That's the whole fucking family. It's everybody. That covers everybody.
That is incredible.
Literally. So it's a goddamn disgrace. So, however, the problem is everybody's happy and everything's great, and Paul's thrilled and Leanne's thrilled and everybody's super happy. But the problem is Paul's still smoking crack, which is because it doesn't matter what it's not like you smoke crack because you're a little bored and then when other shit picks up, you'll just put the crack aside. Right. It's not like that. It's not like a Netflix series.
No.
You get really engrossed in it. You know what I'm saying? You're really, really engrossed in that shit, crack.
You marathon that shit.
People, you for days. Yeah. People who like crack really like crack.
It's called a crack binge for a reason.
It's a thing. Yeah. It's tough. You see people walking around in the streets looking like zombies. Right. That's what they're looking for. So that's how good it is. Leanne would apparently find needles also. So apparently he's gone too.
It?
But we don't know because he's a big jacked up muscle guy too.
He could be steroid.
So he could be using roids, which I assume everyone who owns a gym on Long Island and is like a workout guy is probably fucking jacked up on roids.
I'd bet roids.
I just assume.
Before I bet shooting crack.
Yeah. Do you know how many fucking Guido kids I knew who were like 16 who were on steroids when I was a teenager in the 90s? and it's not even now, and it's it was fucking crazy.
That got here. I mean, people were talking to me.
Here you can go to Mexico in fucking 3 hours and come back with it for free, or come back with it easy. So here it'd be bigger, I would think.
119 pounds in high school, and people were telling me that I should. I'm like, I don't even work out. What are you talking about?
Why would that help me? I don't want to be large. She would find needles and vials around the house too, and she said that she told her mother she kept being scared that the baby would end up finding a fucking needle or a crack vial and play with it, and you don't want a kid putting a crack vial in their mouth. Probably, who knows where that's been in somebody's ball sack, number one, fucking probably, and then who knows. So in July 2000, Paul comes home from work one night, I assume on a crack high, ready to take care of the kids, but there's a problem. He gets home and finds that Leanne is not there. The newborn baby's not there. Stepson isn't there. Everybody's gone. And also,
all their shit.
Bunch of shit from the house is gone. Bunch of the possessions. Oh, by the way, $140,000 gone too.
Where'd Ginger go?
The money, I guess, from the grandmother's house that they now had at their house. They moved it. Is gone also. So
she's got both of them.
Clearly, there's a problem. She's got the kids, the furniture, and the money. So there's an issue here. He finds out that Leanne took the kids to Florida to her mother's house
with James Woods.
With James Woods, with $140,000 in her pocket, down to whatever the fuck, to hang out with her mom and to I guess try to have this maybe be a wake up call to stop smoking crack and coming home at night. So. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. So, so that's that. Now, it's when she moves there, she moves down with Pat, her mother, and her mother's partner, Elizabeth. They move down there. Paul calls down there, says, "Hey, how's it going?" So you took the son and the furniture and all the cash and everything. So can I have my money back? Oh,
sitting here in a lawn chair in our big giant house.
He said basically two things I'd like back, please. My son would be good, and the money that you took would be nice also. I thought, well, we'll talk about you and the furniture later, but those are the ones that I'd really like to have first. If there's a triage system, those are the ones I'm really going to concentrate on.
Okay.
So in August of 2000, August 25th to be exact, Paul files for divorce.
He files
for divorce. And this is to start a custody thing so he can try to get the kid back quickly. This is the fastest way he can get some kind of visitation right out of it, apparently, is this. So he was, apparently by all accounts, we don't know how true this is, but by accounts, he stopped doing as much drugs, at least at this point, possibly altogether. He was he's very shook up by the fact that he was scared he wasn't going to be able to see his son because she took the son away. And he's like, I got to be clean and have my shit together to be able to get custody of my son. So he's very much into being able to see his son. And he also wanted, but he wanted to see his son if she wouldn't come back. But ideally, he wanted her to come back with the kids and just live there and shit.
Let's figure this out.
Get back together. That's what they wanted. But anyway, he filed this, and he ends up just telling everybody how much he wants to be a part of his son's life. He can't do it from New York to Florida. That's very hard, and he spends the time trying to reconcile. Anyway, while the court proceedings are going on, he makes a lot of promises. He promises to change. He's going to be home more. He's not going to be, smoking crack. He said, I'll go to rehab for the fucking coke thing, whatever it takes. I'm just a fucking clean slate here. I got caught up in everything, and now I want to start clean.
Let's keep the family.
Absolutely. She says, okay.
She's in.
I'll do that. If you'll go to rehab and everything will be the way it was, we'll do it. Paul cancels the divorce proceedings. So that's all good. She moves back with the kids to live with him in Babylon, and also returns the portion of the money that's left. She spent money while she was down there for months.
You gotta have an apartment.
Gotta live and shit, and she's got kids to support. But she returns whatever money was left. So, everything is everything's fine. Everything seems fine on the surface. This is December of 2000. They're trying to sort out their marriage. They want to try again. Everybody believes that Paul's gotten over his issues and that the whole family. Yeah. She tells her mom he seems to be better. The whole thing is okay here. Paul, he's happy because now he doesn't have to go down to Florida to see his kids, so he can stay with his business, and he has his wife and he sees his son, and everything's happy. Problem here is it's not all as happy as it seems on the surface, and we'll find out. Something crazy happens on January 17th, 2001. 17th, 2001, Alex Algieri's at the gym. It's Paul's night off, and Alex is at the gym, and it's a 24-hour gym, right? But this is 7:20 at night. This goes on. It's January though, so it's pitch black out at 7:20 in New York in January, obviously, and it's freezing cold. There's some snow on the ground. It's just one of those New York nights. And Paul was off, like we said. Alex is doing an aerobics class in the gym. Okay. He's got an aerobics class that he's teaching or running or whatever the fuck. He goes out to his car to get some CDs because it's 2001. Right. So he goes out to the car to get some CDs to play for the aerobics class.
Some jock jams.
Exactly. We're going to get our blood pumping, man.
Gonna pump up the volume in here. Let's do it.
And it is a normal day. I mean, the normal classes, the normal people show up at the classes. Everything's normal. He pops out. It's very, he goes out the building's back door to the parking lot to get the CDs out of his car. The parking lot is not very well lit. It's very dark, the parking lot. And I guess these guys, park kind of away from the door so the customers have more access because they come in and they stay there for hours, so they don't need to run out to their cars. So they goes and it's a dark part of the parking lot. Alex goes around to the passenger side of his car to get CDs from the glove compartment, and out of nowhere, a man jumps out of a vehicle parked nearby. Alex turns around and the man shoots him several times in the face and neck.
Oh my God!
Alex, the partner here. So Alex makes it back into the gym.
Jesus.
Leaves a big trail of blood in the snow and the whole deal. Makes it back into the gym and collapses. People obviously call 911 and people come. They heard the gunshots and then he comes in bleeding all over the place with gunshot wounds in the face. Right. Which you see a gunshot wound to someone's face. That's a lot. You'll call 911 fast.
Tough to take it.
You don't ask, "Are you okay?" Right. You just grab the fucking phone and start dialing. Okay. He's clearly not okay. Right. This was crazy. He ends up. The ambulance gets there. He ends up dying before he arrives at the hospital. So Alex Algieri gets shot. People go crazy because he has no enemies. Everybody likes him. Right. He's at the gym. He's the most popular guy. Everybody digs him. They don't understand it. They're like, well, maybe he was fucking some girl at the gym. Right. And he's got an angry husband or something like that. Yeah. They don't know they don't have any leads on this at all because they just don't understand why a well-liked guy with no enemies at all. He's not in financial trouble. He wasn't borrowing money from loan sharks or anything like that. Okay. Why would someone come and shoot him in a clearly on purpose? Right. There was no robbery or anything like that.
Somebody
waited on him and shot him in the face and neck a bunch of times and then drove away. Okay. So this is on purpose. So they had no leads, nothing to go on. And it goes on for so long. I mean, we're talking a year passes.
What?
They have no leads. There's there's no leads. They have nothing to do. They start to go, what could this be? Then they start to, after a while, they go, I mean, maybe fucking, they start to say, okay, it's dark. Yep. He owns the gym. Yep. He's got no enemies. His partner, from doing all this research, they find out that his partner's got a drug problem and he's got this and he's got that. He did time. He probably knows people who are bad people.
Maybe they're looking for him.
Blah, blah, blah. Maybe they were looking for the wrong person. Maybe they were looking for Paul. Who the fuck knows? They don't know. That's
clever. It's like the police or something.
It's like they were trying to put leads together. And so rumors start to spread around too, because then anytime some Guido tells another Guido, he's going to tell more Guidos. Yeah. That's how it works. There's a Guido telegraph system that goes on here. Everybody talks about it.
The Guido telephone is cool. It's a great game because the story gets more and more embellished and better by the end.
Yeah, by the end.
It could start.
By the end, a machine gun, 5 machine gunners popped out like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre and sprayed Alex down while yelling, "This is for the boss." Right. This is for Big Vinny, and then they fucking sprayed him down. I feel like that's what happened there by the end of it.
It was like a Dick Tracy movie by the end of it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But they said that he's dealt drugs. He dealt drugs for years. He does drugs. It would make sense that he would be meet the wrong people, be in drug-related debts. Mm-hmm. He's got a flashy lifestyle. He might have pissed somebody off. But there's no evidence for that either. They just have no evidence. They're just grasping at straws. Right. Now, Leanne feels the same way, though. Leanne, after the funeral, after Algieri's funeral, she starts asking Paul we know Alex doesn't do shit. We know he's clean as a fucking whistle, and we know you're not.
Right.
We know you've been doing fucking drugs. Who knows if you've been fucking around with women?
Right.
Who knows if you've been pissing off people in the street? We don't know what you've been doing. Do you think maybe it could have been for you? Mm-hmm. You drive the same kind of car,
right.
Same model.
Right.
You look similar in a dark parking lot. You're both a couple of jacked up Guidos with brown hair.
Right.
Same shit. Maybe it was for you. So then she starts going, what if I had been there? What if me and the baby were there?
No.
What if we came to bring you fucking dinner or something, and you come out to get it, and this guy sprays us all down?
Yeah,
then what
but
happens?
it wasn't.
But it wasn't. What are you fucking talking about? I got enough to worry about getting whacked on the streets. I got to come home for this?
You weren't there, Karen. God damn it, Karen. Shut up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You knew there was a Goodfellas reference coming somewhere.
Certainly.
You just 2R Rossi. You are nothing but a whore. Is this the superintendent? You have a whore living in your building. Rossi, Janice, 2R. So, anyway, she says, look, why don't let's take the kids and let's move down to Florida. Let's get away from this fucking craziness. Yeah. Let's take the kids and move to Florida. What are we doing?
We're still alive.
We're still alive. This is crazy. We don't know what's going on. Maybe this is intended for you. Let's take Christopher and Nicholas, the two kids. We'll move down to Florida permanently. Now, at this point, Paul is he's the only owner of the gym, and he wants to keep the gym because this is his source of a lot of money.
Makes money, right.
This is what he does. So he decides, to make everybody feel better, we'll all move down to Florida, and I'm going to try to run things from Florida. I'll have a manager up there, and I'll try to, just do it by proxy. And he can do email and shit like that. It's 2002, 3 at this point. So, he would fly out, regularly to check on the business. He'd, every week he's flying back up to Long Island to check on the business, which sounds miserable. Yeah. He had plans to build a house for the family in Florida. They're going to build a house down there because, it's swampland. You can build it for nothing. And, like I said, it's prequel to Florida. That's the migration. See how it goes? So, now, according to Leanne's friends, Leanne and Paul were both very happy about the move. Paul spoke about it to people that he was excited. Yeah. He couldn't wait to build a house. You can build a big house for cheap down there. It's not like Long Island. We're going to have, it's going to be great.
I like that he's leaving New York to get away from drugs and going to Florida.
To get away from cocaine.
Right.
Well, possibly get away from people who might want to murder him for the drugs. He'll make a whole new lot of enemies down here.
There's so many more.
So now the police in Long Island are still investigating this because this is like it happened outside to a popular guy that everybody knew. This
could be anybody.
This isn't like they didn't just find some drifter in the streets behind a dumpster somewhere dead. This is a guy that everybody knows who he is. Yeah. So but months pass with nothing. He at this point Paul, on one of his trips to New York, he talks to a relative of his. And his relative has to have a chat with him. And he says, I got to talk to you about Leanne. Yeah. He said, every time you go out of town, in Florida, every time you go out of town, a man comes over to Leanne's apartment. And gives her the business, we think.
Good service.
There's somebody coming over. There's a dude coming over to see Leanne whenever you're out of town, basically, is what he says. So he says, I don't know if she's having an affair. I don't know what's happening, but I figured I'd tell you.
There's a lot of work going on in your apartment.
There's a lot of work. I don't know if you got plumbing issues. Maybe she does. I don't know. I'm not making any insinuations, if you know what I'm talking about.
There's some plumbing going on. There's some pipe being laid.
Somebody's laying pipe. There's a dolphin head making an appearance. He's coming out of the bag is all I'm going to talk about now. So Paul doesn't believe it, though. He dismisses the stories. He says it's bullshit. That's not how Leanne is. She's just not like that. I don't believe it for 1 second. He thought that, he thinks at this point everything is fine. Yeah. It's April of 2001. Okay. A few months have gone by. He thinks everything's fine. It's good. You know how I know it's good? Leanne's even pregnant again.
Oh boy.
Our life is going great.
Yeah.
She's so into this marriage. She's happy to have another baby with me.
Leaving it in her.
Yeah, I'm not even pulling out. That's how happy we are. We're so happy. I'm just leaving it in. You know what I mean? I got a better cock than her dad. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
So she's pregnant again. He even told all of his relatives that they were going to call their new baby Paul Jr. After him. So we're going to really round out the cycle here.
You got Paulie in there now?
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's going to be Paulie and Paul, and that's how there's my father's Jim and I'm Jimmy, and yeah, that's how that works. That's how it ends up happening. This is what we do.
God damn.
End the cycle. End it. Stop naming each other. And if you're a crime and sports listener, you'll know. And if you're not, you suck. You should be listening to crime and sports. I'm sorry. And you would know that juniors are always trouble.
It's a bad thing.
Whenever you're a junior or you name your child Junior, that child or you, something bad. There's a problem there. Trust me, mathematically it works. Listen to crime and sports.
As soon as it happens, it gets cloudy out. That's what happens.
Whenever a guy goes, I'm going to name a kid after myself, we go, uh-oh, things are going wrong. This is bad. So, everybody was like, well, okay, great. Then I guess everything's fine. I mean, even the relative was like, all right, well, you say she's not banging somebody. I just had information to tell you. Yeah. I'm not going to fucking, what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm just a guy.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I'm just a guy. For a few months, everything's fine. Like I said, April 2001, she tells Paul she's pregnant. By September of 2001, he keeps hearing these persistent rumors all summer about guys and Leanne and this one and that one. So at this point, he questions her about whether he's the father of this child. He actually questions her about it.
And
she says, yeah, of course you are. What are you talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about?
You've been leaving it in me, you idiot.
You've been leaving it in me. You know that. You know that. What do you mean?
You were there too.
October of 2001, Leanne files for divorce from Paul in Florida.
Okay.
So they're down there, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. And now, right around this same time, this was October 2001, she files for divorce. In November 2001, a completely seemingly unrelated thing happens. Okay. A drug dealer in New York named Michael Hubbard gets busted by the DEA for having, I don't remember the exact amount, but I believe it was like 495 pounds of weed or some shit like that. So he gets busted
with a lot.
Yeah. Trafficking, they got him pretty good. So this is the type of guy who's going to try to figure out a way to, who can I tell on?
You betcha.
I'll tell on any, you want to know what my mother's been up to? I'll tell you. So this Michael Hubbard, he says, I got some information, has nothing to do with the weed I've been selling. I'm not going to give up a drug syndicate. I'm not insane,
right.
But I do have another dildo I'll give to you. No problem here. There's a guy named Ralph Salerno, and a guy named Scott Paget from Florida is what this Hubbard tells police. He said they were the guys who were involved in the murder of Alex Algieri. Okay. He said he knows this. He said that, obviously, he said, now maybe you can drop my charges down a little bit. He's doing this in exchange.
Maybe I got 495 grams a week.
Maybe it's grams. We drop it. Maybe we go 245. We'll call it even in half. So, now what the fuck is this guy talking about exactly? Well, let's talk about that. Police at this point say, well, let's talk to this Salerno and Paget guys too, because I feel like they might know some shit here. So they talk to these two guys. Now, what ends up happening is what we didn't know was going on while all this reconciliations and all this shit was going on. When Leanne first moved down to Florida, Leanne discussed with her mother and Elizabeth, her mother's partner, trying to find someone that would scare Paul into staying away from her about the money and the kid.
Yeah.
Like basically to just leave her alone. Because he was calling and he was saying, I want to see my son. Things like that you do when you want to see your kids.
Right.
When they move to another state without you knowing, without your knowledge, you might want to see them. So you might keep calling and saying, I'd like to see my kid now. And also that $100,000 you took from me.
That'd
also, I'd like both of those things, like we said. So during this, Elizabeth, the partner there, the mother's partner, told a guy named, Larry Diodato, who was a friend of hers. She told her that her niece, she just called her niece to make it easy. Her niece wanted someone to beat up her husband who owned a gym and a house and had had a bunch of money, basically, is what he told her. So this Diodato then got a hold of Ralph Salerno and told him that this Elizabeth's niece wanted someone to beat up her husband. So now there's a guy named Richard Pollock, who's a friend of Salerno's. Now this is going down the line here. Salerno's, he said that he arranged a meeting with the mother, with Leanne's mother and Salerno, arranged the meeting, this whole thing. So this is crazy. Now, they had a meeting this is at the mother's house in Florida, Leanne's mother's house. This is Leanne's mother and her partner, and a guy named Salerno and this Richard Pollock are all there, okay? This is the summer of 2000. They have the idea of scaring Paul, or they talked about beating him up. She says Leanne told them that she has access to money in a safe deposit box, so she can pay cash for these type of things.
For these services.
During the meeting, they said
didn't have a square. Is that what happened?
They had no square back then. That's the thing. See, commerce is so much easier now. They could have Venmo'd him over the money and it would have been fine. Everybody's so much happier and easier. So they said, now these fucking guys are crafty. They said, well, why don't we plant drugs on him? We plant drugs on him. We could beat him up. We could get him, plant drugs on him, call the cops on him. We could get him beat up. She said that she wanted him beaten. She's like, no, not the drug thing, because that'll just take lawyer money. We have health insurance. Beat his ass. So she said, but not badly hurt. Just rough him up a little, is what she said. Jesus Christ.
This scumbag's got insurance, but James doesn't.
But I don't have insurance, so I don't own a gym and a tanning salon. Maybe I need to invest in a tanning salon. Jimmy, we're opening a small town murder tanning. So we're going to open now.
I'm going to get you a crack habit, too.
That's what I need, is a good crack habit. I feel like a good strong crap habit. I think a good crack habit would be, I think that would be better for me, because I don't, I have to work long hours on this and don't get to sleep a lot.
Sleepy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think a crack habit I could use. It would cheer me up a little. Anybody out there, if you have suggestions on, particular crack preparations, you might,
You got any friends that we can get crack from?
Whatever. Yeah. How to make it myself. I'm not above cooking it up. I'll cook it up. I never dug a fucking hole before. I'll dig the fucking hole. So before the meeting's over, Salerno and Pollock tell the ladies there that, tell the fucking Golden Girls here that they would let them know if we can help. We'll let you know. We're going to talk amongst ourselves. We'll let you know. So, now once this, drug dealer, this Hubbard in New York, gives up, Salerno and this Paget guy who we haven't introduced yet. Paget, by the way, is like a total roided up bodybuilder guy who like collects small time debts and shit from people. He's like Rocky before Rocky got the fight against Apollo Creed.
Got it.
That's who he is. So the police bring in Salerno and Paget for questioning. Now from the very beginning, Paget right away is like, oh yeah, no, Salerno fucking killed that guy. 100%. Yeah, he killed him. He fired the gun. He did everything. I was just the driver. So right away he's like, no, we were there. I drove. He shot him. That's it. Can I go home now? We good or what?
I get some bodybuilding debts to collect.
Yeah, you got any weights around here? I've been here for like 8 hours. I'm starting to lose my pump. You know what I mean? I'm not looking as vascular as I'd like to. If you just got like a dumbbells or maybe just a bar I could fuck with, maybe somewhere I could hang and do some pull-ups.
My dolphin ain't even poking out.
Something. My dolphin head's very sad right now. He's looking right at the floor. That's what happens. So, Salerno at first, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I don't know. I never heard of that guy.
Who's that?
Alex, I don't know. I don't know anybody named Leanne Riedel. I don't know any of these people.
None of it.
Don't know what you're talking about. And then they go, do you know this Paget guy? And he's like, They're like, because he says he knows you. Matter of fact, he says he drove you there and watched you shoot the motherfucker in the face.
Right.
What do you think of that? So he's like, okay, tell you what. Here's what happened. Maybe I do know those guys.
Leanne? Oh, Riedel.
You know what? I've heard of her.
I thought you said Rydell.
Yeah, see, I know two. I know the other one. She's from Dallas. It's a different girl. It's a different girl. I know a lot of women. I'm sorry. I get around. So he now says that Leanne is the one who came up with the murder plot and that Salerno, all I was trying to do was follow instructions, which by the way is not a valid excuse for shooting someone.
Also illegal.
I was just doing what somebody was paying me to do. I think that's worse actually, sir. It'd be better if you said, I didn't like that guy, so I killed him. I think that's better than someone paid me money to kill him in cold blood. I feel like in the courts, they look down upon that sort of thing here. Jesus Christ.
There is a crime of passion. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you know somebody and you got a beef with them and there's a crime of passion,
that's a thing.
Second degree, isn't it?
People can understand
right.
it. At least they can put, because what you want is you at least put the jury in your brain of
right.
like, if I was there, maybe I would snap too.
Right.
You know
Heat
what I mean?
The moment, who knows?
Yeah, but
preparation?
And to go from Florida to New York to do something and get paid for it, that seems like an awful.
It's a little worse.
It's a little cold-blooded. Now he also has another kind of little bombshell here. He also says the other reason I did this, not only for the money, but I've been having an affair with Leanne since the time she moved to Florida.
Ah, Jesus.
Since right after, because she moved to Florida a little before this, but in July of 2000, I believe the first phone record contacts between everybody is in July of 2000, July 28th, 2000. And, yeah.
Salerno, she found a Guido in
Florida. She found there's a lot. It's the migration pattern. They're down there. Trust me. That's where they go to die. Now he says Leanne's mother, Pat, introduced them, and, with the idea of, hey, this is what he says. He says that Leanne's mom came to him going, look, she's scared of her ex-husband or scared of her husband. Could you maybe protect her if he ever comes down here to try to take the baby or do anything crazy? Will you protect her? That's the way he said. That's the way he states it. He says, but the relationship developed. They fell in love. They kept seeing each other. Even when Leanne and Paul were back together, they were still seeing each other. He was the one coming over to the house when Paul would go back to do gym shit in New York, and even when they were back together before the Algieri murder.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Salerno now, he claims that Leanne gave him instructions to go to New York and kill Paul Riedel and offered him a payment of $100,000 for this from the safety deposit box, I assume. And Salerno said, I killed the wrong guy. That's just all it was. I thought he was fucking Paul.
Oh my God.
She said black GMC Yukon. He looks like this.
Right.
That's what he looked like.
Dude.
Got out and shot the fuck out of him. Thought it was the right guy. So this Alex
Hasn't he ever been to Long Island before?
Yeah, they all look alike.
They're all over.
That's the problem. You need DNA. You got to swab a guy, send it in, wait for it to come back, then you go kill him. He could be anybody.
The mob deserves a lot more credit
for killing the right people. Yeah, it has. They did kill the wrong people
a few times. Yeah. But for the most part, they got the right guy most of the time.
There's this one case. There's this one case of cops that these murderers that worked for the mob. They wrote a book. It's funny. One of the guys is actually in Goodfellas. One of the crooked cops.
Is that right?
Yeah, is actually in Goodfellas for a minute here. Okay. But these guys actually, the mob gave them a contract to kill a guy, and so they would look him up through police records and all that, and they killed the wrong guy. That just happened to have the same They happen to have the same name.
Wow.
They killed some 19-year-old kid who was a little slow.
That's what happens when you keep naming them all the same thing.
He was a little slow and moved boxes at a warehouse and shit like that. He had no connection to anything, and they just shot the fuck out of him. It happens. But this is a real fuck up here. Yeah. This is not good here. So he just said, I don't know. They look the same. They're both strong. They had similar features. They work in the same place. They drive the same type of fucking car. The place was poorly lit. Dark night. What do you want from me? Mistaken identity. And the police were like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we've heard that's made sense. Yeah. That could possibly be it. His story was also backed up because he said, you can test the kid, by the way, because I'm the father of that kid. So,
oh no,
he said, that's so because they were like, why should we believe you that you were having an affair and all this? And he goes,
I'll spit in a cup for you.
You can take a DNA test and see, because I've been leaving it in as well. So yeah.
God, Jesus.
Yeah. So now they're like, okay, now that adds up to what he said of them seeing each other. And now the cops are starting to take him seriously, especially since he admits to killing the guy. Yeah. And why would he just say it's mistaken identity? Right. If, it just makes no sense to confess to that. So now at this point, Leanne, she denies any part of anything.
Of course.
She does confess that she has been having an affair and that her new baby, Zachary, is actually Salerno.
And they named him Zachary.
They left Paul out of the loop here. So I like, what, Zachary's better. Maybe the middle name may be Paul.
She hit him with all biblical shit, though.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Zachary and Christopher so Nicholas. So Zachary is his name, and she says, but I was fucking him, but I did not have any part in the planning of the murder. She said, I don't know. I'm sure Salerno was probably jealous, and he just did it on his own, and over the fact that they appeared to be reconciling as a couple, the Riedels, and he probably couldn't take that, and he just said, well, if I kill Paul, then I can have her all to myself, and whatever. Wrong place, and she said, Alex was just at the wrong place in the wrong time, Algeria, and he got shot in the face, which is a tough consequence for wrong place, wrong time.
Horrible.
So, Leanne also said that she did continue the affair even after Alex Algeri's death.
Gross.
And she said it was because her husband had changed. She said he had grown withdrawn and paranoid since the murder. You think?
His best friend and business partner has been murdered in the parking lot of his business.
And then he's convinced by his wife that they're probably looking for him and they should go to Florida. So now he's like the third act of Goodfellas, Henry Hill. He's got coke. He's looking out for helicopters. He's got tomato sauce to stir. He's driving, almost getting in an accident. Right. He's a fucking mess.
I go to the bank. It's fucking there.
I go to here. I go there. I got to go to Jimmy's house with the silencers. You want to see helicopters? I'll show you helicopters. All right, never mind. No more Goodfellas references, I promise.
It's always there, Karen.
It's always there, Karen. Well, it's just it's funny. That's all. It's it's a funny thing. That's all it is. It's just funny for now. We don't know anything. So anyway, obviously he's fucking withdrawn and paranoid. I would be too.
Yeah.
And of course, he's probably still doing coke also, which doesn't help either if you're already withdrawn and paranoid. You add coke to the mix.
Yeah.
So police really they said we really got to concentrate on Leanne and find out what the fuck she knows. And finally, they kind of get some ins here. A guy named Michael Paglianti. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a fucking story about Guidos.
This is ridiculous.
This is why I'm doing this. Because next week, don't yell at me when I make fun of hillbillies. Thank you. When I'm talking like this and you guys are like, stop doing the southern accent, I do this just as fucking much. Eat dicks, you asshole. I hate this more, actually. You have no idea. You don't even know.
You hate this more than I, y'all?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact. So, Jesus Christ. So, he says, this guy tells police, Michael Paglianti, that beginning in December of 2000, Salerno asked him to help obtain a gun and to rent him a van using this Paglianti's credit card because Salerno doesn't have a fucking credit card. And I'm sure even if he did, he wants to keep the...
keep it all paperwork away from him.
That'd be smart here.
Also, what the fuck is going on? She's cheating on her husband, who's a successful businessman.
Yeah,
he's got a crack habit. Whatever. He's a successful
better than this fucking idiot.
You're fucking a guy.
Better than this two-bit shitbag.
Letting a guy that doesn't have a fucking credit card leave it inside you?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
This is a mess, Jimmy.
This is ridiculous.
This is a Guido disaster of epic proportions.
Fucking hell.
He says that he wanted him to help him rent a van using his credit card, and Salerno offers Paglianti $3,000 to drive Salerno to New York to kill Paul. Okay. And this Paglianti goes, you know what? I'm good. This all sounds like a lot. I gotta rent things with my credit card. I gotta drive you places to kill a guy.
No.
It's like a 14-hour drive. No,
I'm out.
No, I'm out. Or it's more than that. It's like a 20-hour drive to Florida.
2 days.
Yeah, it's a trip.
A long way.
So he said, "No, I'm going to pass on that one." But now he knows about the whole plot. So later on, this is when he's talking to police and telling them about it, putting shit together. So he passes. Takes a hard pass on that one.
Good call.
So Salerno then offers to pay the Paget guy, the small-time, debt-collecting steroid dude, offers to pay him $3,000, the same $3,000, to drive him from Florida to New York and back. Gun aside. Okay. Salerno will get the gun himself. Okay. This is just for transport. Drive him there, drive him back, $3,000. All right. $3,000. So this Paget says, all right. That's by the way, we have the redneck version of, all right, this isn't, all right. He shrugged his shoulders and went, all right, I'll do that.
Italian, all right.
All right. So he gives him $3,000. Salerno gets a gun himself. Now, Diodato, he says that Salerno asked him, this Diodato's the guy who originally made the introduction.
Right.
He says that Salerno asked him in January 2001 to rent Salerno a car because Salerno didn't have a credit card. But Diodato couldn't help him because he also did not have a credit card. These are a bunch of people trying to set up hits and like, oh, we'll meet you. We'll see if we can help you with your problems. They don't have a fucking Visa card, these people. They don't have a 560 credit score.
How do you not have your life together enough?
Jesus Christ.
That makes sense. That's the type of people that I expect to be having hits on people.
That's the thing. These are fucking morons. These aren't successful men who are like, I like to do it as a rush on the side. So
people that the solution to fixing problems is murder generally don't have great credit.
No. And they're idiots too because they're now spreading this plot to more people, including Salerno then asked Diodato if he's like, hey, Diodato, I guess, owns a business. He goes, maybe one of your employees can rent me a car. Someone that works for you must have a fucking credit card.
Anybody with a credit card? Let me ask you something.
Let me ask you a question. Real fast. Hold on. So Diodato gives him two of his names of his employees. So that's two more people to involve in the spider web. No one can ever get caught, right? This house of cards will never come down.
Who do you trust that has a credit card?
Well, they trust a guy named Lucas Shuck and Jimmy Dazzler. As Dazzler.
You got to be shitting
Jimmy
me.
Dazzler is his fucking name, which sounds like a bad Vegas act. Jimmy Dazzler, the comedic magician. On the old strip down at like Binion's or some shit. Jimmy Dazzler. He works a floor show. He just goes around whipping fucking cards out in people's faces while they're trying to shoot craps.
Fucking
You dazzled yet? Ha!
So dazzled. I see. All I saw was some drag queen.
You get that too.
That just refuses to.
You got to tip him a chip or two, or he won't go away. He'll keep doing chips and just keep doing tricks for you. Oh yeah, well I guess this is your card.
A drag queen fucking magician. That's what I want.
Queen comedic magician. That is
and
awesome.
Everything just turns into a puff of glitter.
And he goes to get dazzled.
Jimmy Dazzler.
Jimmy Dazzler. And he puts the smoke up, but then he's still standing there because you didn't tip him. If you tipped him, he'd have been gone behind the smoke.
But you won't give me those chips.
So finally, Dazzler just says no. Dazzler says, I don't think so. He
didn't dazzle me.
He gets out. He's not dazzled by this by this plot. Lucas Shuck, though, he says fine. He uses his credit card to rent a white minivan for Salerno. So now these hitmen are driving up in a fucking caravan, which is hilarious. So this Paget guy says that he and Salerno left in the minivan for New York during January 16th, 2001, and Salerno called him several times the day before they left, which were backed up with a bunch of phone records saying that Salerno called Paget 4 times on January 16th, which is the day before the murder.
A bright white minivan.
White minivan.
That's the murder car.
Yeah, that's a murder car. Blend right in. I mean, it's a minivan, which is good.
But it's bright fucking
maybe like
white.
A maroon one or something.
They didn't have a black one?
Nothing.
Every rental lot's got a black one. Get a dark blue one. Get a green one.
They make minivans in black.
Fuck yes.
So he said that Paget said he and Salerno arrived in New York in the late afternoon on January 17th.
Okay.
January 17th, he says, 7:25 p.m. Salerno shot Algieri in the back parking lot of the gym, thinking that he was Paul. He even said to him, before he shot him, he yelled out, "Hey, Paul."
Oh, boy.
So that's how we know that he was actually, he yelled, "Hey, Paul," which is interesting. And they said following the shooting, Salerno disposed of the gun and the clothing he'd been wearing in a nearby body of water, and then Paget drove them back to Florida.
Wow.
So you threw the gun and the clothes out the window, they drive back on down to Florida.
What a gangster thing to say to somebody.
What a hit. Yeah. Hey, Paul.
Hey,
and then
Paul. Boom, 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 boom. No.
Before he could say, "I'm Alex."
Funny thing.
Maybe he should have waited for an answer.
Yeah. He should have waited for, people do
I'm
this
Alex,
all the time.
actually. Oh. Never mind. You know where Paul's going to be coming in tonight? Okay, well, I'll see you later.
Tomorrow night? He didn't know the fucking guy's schedule. It was his day off, you idiot.
Didn't even know his schedule.
Dickhead.
Which is crazy. And Paget also says the $3,000 figure was paid to him when they returned to Florida. Didn't even give him a half up front. So now, at the time of the murder, both of them, Paul and Alex, both worked at the gym, drove a black GMC Yukon SUVs with white Dolphin Fitness Club emblems placed on the back of the vehicles, so they couldn't even tell them apart by that. They parked their vehicles in the same place when, that was like the owner spot. They were similar in appearance, like we said. Not many other vehicles were in the back of the gym because the lighting was dim, so a lot of people parked out front. Now, Paul, they talked to Paul, which is a weird thing. Normally, you don't get to hear from the intended target of a hit like this. Like, that's got to be freaky. That's like, for you, you're like, Jesus, I'm supposed to be dead now? For fuck's sake, I was with this lady for a goddamn year after this. Oof. Holy shit, I'm trying to get back with her and everything. Fuck, man. He says that Leanne knew where the car was usually parked at the gym, and he knew that when he left his home to go to work on the day of the murder, that Leanne was home, and he told Leanne that he was going to work. That's the thing. He said he told Leanne he was going to work that night, but he wasn't going to work. He was going out to smoke crack.
Smoking.
Yeah. So she thought he was at work. That's why this happened. And also Leanne knew that he was driving his Yukon.
You telling me crack saved his life?
It's crack for once. Crack saved his life, Jimmy. For once.
That is amazing.
Never happened before.
Sometimes it's dangerous.
Sometimes,
I don't know.
Not always.
Sometimes it shakes out.
Sometimes, you know what it is? It's time consuming. Yeah. And sometimes when other bad things can be happening, you're not there. Why? Because you're smoking crack. That's right. So, fuck yeah. So,
unbelievable.
With the help of the Paget guy, the gun was recovered from a creek along the Montauk Highway in the Amityville area, near where Paget said that they threw the gun out. So they found the gun. It's recovered from the creek. It's a Smith & Wesson Model 60 5-shot double action revolver 38.
That's what I got.
That's what you got. Yes, I know. I was going to say that's a 5-shot like you got.
That's a damn good handgun.
Yeah, they found expended 38 special cartridge casings inside, because it's a revolver.
Still holds them.
Yeah, it still holds them.
Hangs on to them.
Which is perfect for their usage. Yeah. They're like, great. Look at this. Makes this super easy. This is awesome. They were all copper washed lead bullets of the 38 caliber class, according to the report, obviously.
So they fit.
Consistent with Winchester brand 38 special, 38 Smith & Wesson shit. So anyway, so we know that. So now the police are in a difficult situation here, though, because they have a bunch of stories from a bunch of untrustworthy fucking people, and they don't know what's true. They have conflicting stories, very little physical evidence other than the gun matching. They have that. They say the only thing, they have to let the thing go to court and see what's going to happen, because they don't know. They're basically going to throw it into court and go, let's shake the dice and see what the fuck comes out here. So in March of 2003, they arrest Leanne too. They're like, fuck it. They're all saying she's involved. Maybe she is. Let's take it to court and find out. They also, they arrest her, and they decide that her and Salerno are going to be co-defendants too. They're going to fucking have the cases together. This is really weird.
That's smart, actually.
It's smart because what they want to do, and they talked about it, what they want to do is they want the jury to see them together, to go, these two were together, and they plan shit together. They want them to see them in the same place, so they're not some abstract idea.
And this guy's making the point that this is what happened. Yeah. And now she's got to be his co-defendant and say that's not what happened.
And him saying it in court in front of her somehow has more weight in front of it, whatever.
Yeah, because you got to see her reaction versus his reaction of what he's saying, and then vice versa.
Absolutely. Well, they're tried at this. This is fucking weird. They're tried in the same room at the same time. And they had the same prosecutor prosecuting both of them, but they had two different juries that were both there at the same time. They each had their own jury, which is fucking weird. I guess that would be advantageous, because that way a jury can't go, well, I don't know if he was involved. It's all one or the other.
Are there
you don't have
jury
to decide
boxes
both.
In a courtroom?
I don't know if they had to make a fucking bleacher for them or bring in some folding chairs or what the deal is with that shit.
A visitor in a home gym.
Yeah, a visitor in home. I don't know what the hell it was, but they had different juries, which is super weird. They faced charges of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit murder. Lots of murdery things happening here.
Tons.
The prosecutor, Assistant District Attorney Denise Merrifield, she began basically trying to establish that that the intended victim was Paul. First, that's the first thing they have to establish. Intended victim's Paul, not Alex, because that way you can't tie it all into them otherwise.
Sure.
So Salerno confirmed that yes, that he gets on the stand. He confirms that we were trying to kill Paul, right. Killed Alex by mistake at the instruction of Leanne. That's his testimony. Paglianti testifies that Salerno told him that Leanne had told him about money in a safe deposit box and real estate that he would receive, that Salerno was going to receive for, quote, taking care of Paul and giving him, quote, a major beating. Yeah. That's what he said. They said they discussed also, Paglianti and Salerno discussed planning drugs on Paul and setting him up to get arrested, and had changed the plan to wanting Paul killed instead of just beaten at some point. So every time this plan would get a new fold, the Salerno guy would just tell this Paglianti guy about it. Hey, remember that thing I'm dealing with? What are you doing? Stop talking to people.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Jesus Christ. Paglianti also testifies that he was present when Leanne told Salerno that she wanted Paul killed. Yep. So this isn't just going on. This isn't hearsay from Paul. Yep. This is, I was there. Discussed what Salerno would receive once Paul was killed. So then the deal, the actual hit.
The payment.
So they did this in front of people. Gave Salerno a photograph of Paul and driving directions to 3 places in New York where Paul could be found. Okay. One of which was the gym, obviously. Paglianti also testified that Salerno told him that he paid Paget the $3,000, which is backed up by what Paget says, to get a minivan and go to New York. He said that Salerno would, quote, take care of Paul and then head back to Florida. He also testified, Paglianti, that Salerno had not been at the gym in Florida for his usual workouts during the time of Alex's murder. That on his way back from Florida after the murder, Salerno called Paglianti and stated that everything had gone well, and ridiculed on the phone Paget for being nervous, the other guy. He's like, this fucking pussy's nervous. It was fine. We shot him in the fucking face. We threw the fucking gun in the river. This fucking pussy's face? He's fucking whining over here. He doesn't know nothing.
All this time, I want to give Alex a ton of credit for taking 5 rounds from a 38 to the face, and chest, and neck.
And walking into the gym.
That's unbelievable.
It's fucking impressive intestinal fortitude, I would say. Jesus Christ.
Tough and strong does not describe that man.
He was
he had fucking man.
He had a spirit. That's tough. Wow. It sucks that he's dead. Yeah. He might have been a good guy.
Oh, Jesus. We need people like him.
Yeah, it was something. Shit, that can take a nice gunshot to the face. Absolutely.
A 38?
You know what? On Long Island, too, he could have got together with Buttafuoco's wife and... Imagine the couple they would have been. The power couple of both being shot in the face on Long Island because of misguided affairs.
To her credit, or to Alex's credit, she only got hit with a 22, I think.
Yeah, that's but it was still in the head.
No, you know what? I think
a couple of times.
I think it was a 38 also.
I think it was a 38.
I think so. That's fucking amazing.
Might have been a 32 caliber. I don't know why I thought that.
It was a revolver.
It was a revolver, but whatever. So
either way, she took a few.
She took a few in the dome piece there. So she's being, so he's ridiculing Paget for being nervous. Yeah. Also, he testifies that during a conversation with Salerno the next day, Salerno told him that Paget parked the minivan near the rear entrance to the gym. Salerno got out of the van, shouted, "Hey, Paul," to the guy who exited the gym, and then shot the man 3 to 5 times in the neck, head, and chest area.
God, Jesus.
And then Salerno got back in the minivan. They threw the gun out and basically told him everything that fucking happened. And telephone records corroborate that Salerno called Paglianti the day after the murder, just like he said. Mm-hmm. Following his conversation with Salerno about Algieri's murder, Paglianti and Salerno went to the house of Frank Paglianti, who is Paglianti's father, old man Paglianti. Said, "Hey, we're going over to my dad's house." He's, no, we had Sunday dinner over there, so you got to come. We're going over to old man Frank's house, where at this point, they get over to the house, they sit down, they feel fucking proud of themselves. Yeah. They feel like big men. They're like, I've been watching fucking Goodfellas my whole life, and I just drove up to New York, did a hit, and came back, and I'm good. Right. And they get there, and they sit down, and they find out, you didn't shoot Paul, stupid. You shot the wrong fucking guy. So, oh shit. Yeah. Now they start to panic. Salerno at that point goes, no. It was the right guy. It was the fucking truck. Right. It was the guy. The description. That's the right guy.
How big he was, right?
Yeah. Nope. Not there though. Not the right guy. Paget ends up testifying here, the driver, that on January 19th, while he was at Paglianti's office with Paglianti, Salerno, and Frank Paglianti, Salerno showed him a news article from the internet and said, I got the wrong guy.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. So, Paglianti testified that he had been present during a discussion after this between Salerno. They just talk in front of people and Leanne in February or March of 2001, during which Leanne called Salerno a quote stupid bastard for shooting the wrong person, and Salerno responded that Leanne should have given him a better picture of Paul. That's a fight I would have loved to watch.
Leanne.
You stupid bastard! You killed the wrong guy. Well, you didn't give me the right picture. You dumb bitch! What the fuck is you? You're blaming me?
Around here.
Get the fuck out of here! They drive the same fucking car. What are you talking about?
You handed me a fucking Polaroid.
How am I supposed to know? Jesus. It's from 5 fucking years ago. What are you doing? Oh man, so Jesus Christ, that's amazing. So, oh man, Paul testifies in court.
Yeah.
Paul testifies that Leanne called him on the night of the murder to tell him that Alex had been killed, and that he responded that the shooter basically that he told her I bet they were looking for me, not Alex, because he knows that Alex is clean as fuck. Now, according to Paul, Leanne told him that she also thought that the murder was probably intended for him, and that's when she started begging to move to Florida. What if it was me and the baby there? Right. Oh my God!
Yeah, so where my fuck fest is at?
Yeah, I got a fuck fest happening. So after they moved to Florida, Paul began working out at a gym there, where Paget was also working out, and Paget fucking recognized him. Was like, that's the guy from the picture.
Walks.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. So after that, Paget would monitor Paul's activity at Salerno's request. He would like spy on him and follow him around. And so then at this point, Salerno asked Paget whether he thought it was possible that maybe they could kill Paul at the gym in Florida, but Paget responded, it's probably not a good idea.
That'll look really bad
with the heat and all, and it's probably bad here. So Paget and a guy named Michael Zeltzer, like Seltzer with a Z, testified here that after the murder of Algieri, they overheard Salerno say to a man in a nightclub who he was arguing with. Salerno got in an argument with a nightclub and he said, quote, I kill people if I get the right guy. That's your trump card in a fucking argument in a nightclub, stupid?
He said, if I get the right guy.
If I get the right guy. So he's telling people what he's doing like a fucking moron. He's not a very bright guy here. So during the course of this trial, there's, like we said, I have tons of witnesses, like we've talked about. They all say the same thing. There's no physical evidence of Leanne's involvement, so the prosecution's only relying on the testimony of witnesses, which is all the people are saying the same thing. Leanne's mother's former partner now, they've broken up over this whole thing, Elizabeth, she testified also. She claims that she and Leanne's mother had initially introduced Leanne and Salerno with the intention of providing protection to Leanne. Salerno was told that if Paul ever came to Florida, Salerno should threaten him and break his legs. This account, she tried to make it so, but this opens it to the fact that Leanne was open to violent acts toward Paul, and this was somebody testifying who wasn't a fucking Guido.
Right.
So this was an older lesbian has a lot of credibility.
She does.
She really does.
She holds weight.
If you get a 65-year-old lesbian in front of me, I'll believe anything she tells me. I feel like she's really honest in the world,
She's just jacked to be
That's
herself.
what I mean.
Living her truth.
Tell me what the world's like. So I'm believing you. Yeah. So so this kind of helped with the jury to show that she's capable of giving instruction of some kind here. But she also said that basically she's like, I'm not a criminal, believe me. Yeah. This is what happened. So Leanne's case not looking great, obviously. But their defense is everybody that you've put out in front of us except for Elizabeth is a criminal.
Right.
These are all criminals. They're all admitted murderers and all this shit. I don't understand why you're believing him. There's still no physical evidence. There's some discrepancies with descriptions of the drive and the car between Salerno and Paget. Paget, but they both say they did the same thing. So they're trying to point out discrepancies between just little details of their memories of a drive. We took this exit, not that exit.
Who gives a fuck?
Who cares? They said they shot the guy. That's the important part.
Yeah, they're hanging on to that shit pretty tight.
Yeah. Also, they didn't have they at the time they didn't have a record of the car rental and shit like that they wanted. Leanne's attorney, Bruce Barkett, he questioned why Salerno killed the wrong guy. He says, well, if he know that Leanne would know that Paul was off that night, which she herself, with Paul himself, said I lied to her and told her I was working. Right. So that ended that. I don't know why the lawyer was still making that argument. There was still, they tried to say Leanne wouldn't want her husband dead. It doesn't matter what everybody else says. The fact is she didn't want him dead. So that's what we should be concentrating on. And the prosecution said, oh no, she wanted his money. Yeah. She wanted the real estate. Yep. She wanted that house that's now in her name. Yep. She wanted all that cash. Yep. She wanted whatever else he fucking had and all that sort of thing. She wanted Paul out of the picture. She wanted to start a whole new thing with Salerno and their new baby and all that, and with a nice little nest egg to start out with.
Wow.
What the fuck? The prosecution believed that she started developing the plan, and that's how they laid it out for the jury in July of 2000, which the phone records, that's when she first got together with Salerno. That's when everybody testifies they were there. She says that the prosecutor frames it as a really dastardly plot from her to go back there and pretend to be back together with him while she's really not only having an affair but plotting his murder with the man she's having an affair with. That paints a bad picture.
This is terrifying.
It really is, because it could happen to anybody, of any sex at any time.
Yeah.
She said, and her plan was to act like a grieving widow in order a Guidette widow.
A grieving Guido.
Yes, a Guidetto. That's a Guidette widow. A Guidetto.
She's grieving.
She's grieving right now. Leave her alone. It's a Guidette who's grieving. She's grieving right now. It's okay. Leave her alone for a while. Leave her alone. No, don't show your dolphin head right now. It won't cheer her up. Normally, I know that cheers her up, but not now.
Piss her off.
That'll just make her mad. So she said that, it would be a little bit of time. She'd let some time go by, and then she was going to move back down to Florida, take all her money with her kids, move back down and have Salerno all to herself, and everything is have a nice life here. Okay. So the defense disputes the story, obviously. They maintain that Salerno went to New York in a fit of rage upon seeing Leanne and Riedel were back together. She's back together with Paul. He freaked out. His actions were not well planned. That's why he shot the wrong person. He just went up there in a fit of rage and I'm going to shoot that guy, and just shot him.
It's a long drive for a fit of rage.
And meanwhile, for months, he's asking people for credit cards and all that sort of shit. So
you get to North Carolina, and you're like, I'll just leave her.
I'll just leave her.
This is a long drive.
Yeah. So they say that Leanne was oblivious to the whole plan. She had no fucking idea about any of it. The whole thing. She's clueless here. So all you can do now is go to the jury, and the jury they come back because it's two separate juries.
Right.
So they're separate verdicts. The Salerno's jury comes back in 4 hours because he's admitting to everything he did. So they come back in 4 hours and they find him guilty of first degree murder, which is tough because they had second degree on the table too. They said, oh no, first degree. And we'll talk about sentencing.
Florida.
Yeah,
in New York.
In Florida here. We'll talk. This is in New York, the sentencing. Yeah. So we'll talk about his sentencing in a minute. Leanne, though, it took longer. They took 4 days to reach a decision with her because it's more complicated because she's not admitting it, and there's no physical connection. So her attorney thought that was a good sign, and that everybody she's going to be acquitted. Yeah. And then in 4 days, the jury came back and said, "Oh no, guilty." Guilty, fucker.
Okay.
They're both found guilty of one count of murder in the first degree.
She got first also.
First count of murder in the second degree, and one count of conspiracy in the second degree. So this is messy. At sentencing, the sister of Alex gets to testify here and says, quote, "Our brother is gone, and the hole in our hearts will never be filled because of Leanne's greed and hatred of her husband. Even though Leanne Riedel wasn't there on the night of January 17, 2001, she just as well might have been. Leanne Riedel is just as guilty as Ralph Salerno." That's their plea to the jury to
a guy named Ralph.
So for Ralph, he gets, you sir, may fuck off hard, life with no parole.
Oh my shit.
Done. Fucking cashed out.
Oh boy.
Which is rough for a guy who kind of cracked the whole case open for them.
Gave everything.
He gave up everybody. He didn't make a deal very well.
No.
He's not a good wheeler and dealer, this Ralph. I feel like he could have, Sammy the Bull killed 19 people and did like 4 fucking years. This guy shot one fucking Guido in a parking lot, and he's got life without parole because he doesn't know how to make a deal. He shot an innocent person. He didn't shoot gangsters, but still. Now, for Leanne, she did not address the court. She did not make a statement, even though it's her opportunity to. Her attorney, Bruce Barkett, asked the judge, and this is ballsy, asked the judge to, quote, tread lightly because he's about to send a wrongly convicted person to prison.
Whoa, what?
Which is not what you say to the judge.
No.
You don't tell a judge to tread lightly. They'll go, I'll tread however the fuck I want to tread. That's why I have a gavel and a robe and a guy in a uniform that can drag you to jail if I fucking feel like it, you asshole.
How about you?
With no charge. Contempt. You know what that means? I don't like you. So you're going to sit in jail till I say it's time to come out.
How about I'm paid by the taxpayers to be here, motherfucker? You're paid by her. Or you're appointed.
Or you're probably appointed.
Either way,
I
get to tell you how to tread, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, geez, who the fuck do you think you are? So the judge
was elected to this fucking seat.
Or appointed, but someone said I should be here. You, who knows? The judge has something to say here. The judge says to Leanne before sentencing, quote, when is this charade going to end? Do you know how many families were affected here? How many lives were affected here? You, ma'am, may fuck off. Sentences her to 25 years to life for each murder conviction and 8 1/3 to 25 years for the conspiracy conviction. All concurrent, though.
Okay.
All concurrent, not consecutive. The prosecution did not ask for life without parole for Leanne because they didn't think they would get it.
Okay.
Because they thought.
I think they would have.
The funny thing is they didn't even give any comment on it. They thought it was unusual because the judge stated that he would have happily given a longer sentence to Leanne had the prosecution asked for it. Happily, he said.
So in that case, is he not allowed to?
They ask for a certain, and they don't want to step on their toes if it's something like that and go above and beyond because then it seems like the judge is taking.
You can't go rogue and
shit. You can. That happens.
That would have been amazing.
But it's usually you go by
like fucking 35 million years.
30. You're going forever. Yeah, life without parole. Yeah. And they could have given her that. That would have been
amazing.
No fucking problem here. The prosecutor after the trial said, quote, justice has been served here, Your Honor. She, because of her own greed and evil heart, wanted her husband dead. The defendant is the most self-absorbed defendant I have ever prosecuted.
58 to life.
50, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, but concurrent. And she's going to be in there a while.
25, and so she's got to do 25 before even possible for parole.
So,
but then she's got to do another 25 for the other one before possible for parole.
Well, they're concurrent. So it's all together.
Oh, it's all. Oh,
yeah, consecutive would be laid out like a fucking train track.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's concurrent. So she can get out in 25 years.
That's crazy.
Whereas he ain't going nowhere.
She got off so light.
She did get off light. It could have been worse here. So wow. The prosecutor said the most self-absorbed defendant I've ever prosecuted.
If for the most self-absorbed you've ever prosecuted, you should have asked for more.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to push their luck because they didn't think they'd get it. I think they were just going like, look, we're lucky to be getting a conviction out of this because there's not a lot of whatever. And it's like, oh, no, we hate her too. No, everyone hates her. Don't worry. We could have done anything you wanted. Bruce Barkett, Leanne's attorney, said afterwards, quote, I respect the jury system. I respect the jury process. I just don't agree with the verdict.
Yeah.
As Riedel was left, as Leanne was led out of the courtroom, somebody in the court yelled, quote, Leanne, we love you. You'll be home soon, sweetheart. And one of Algieri's relatives yelled, forget it, lady, or some shit. Forget it. And then something indecipherable.
Something New York Italian.
Forget about it. She ain't going nowheres. You know what I mean? Well, this is fucking amazing, by the way. That's not far off. Okay. Outside the courtroom, Salvatore Algieri, Alex's father, He said that he didn't mind 25 years to life. This is fucking amazing. This is the most Italian fucking way to state of your son is murdered and how they say the murder. He says, and I quote, they chose to give her a lesser sentence. Good for her. That's what he said. Justice has been done. She's going to serve her time. That's good with us. They chose to give her hey, good for her. Fuck her. What do I care? Yeah, good for her. She's still in the fucking can. Justice is served. Fungul. That's what he said. And he gave the fucking thing on his arm and he walked off. Fuck out of here. So, Jesus Christ,
that's
man.
Fantastic.
Obviously, there's appeals. Good for her. That's the best. We've never heard that before. She got a lesser sentence. Good for her. Good for her. So, appeals, obviously, there's a shitload of appeals to this. Her first appeals, we'll buzz through them quick because they're pretty weak. Yeah. Her first appeals are that the prosecution failed to establish her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, that the trial court erred in allowing evidence in hearsay statements that had not been made in furtherance of the conspiracy, which they were. It was somebody saying that they were there while they were talking, and she said that. Yeah. So inflammatory photographs and not declaring a mistrial which is the crime scene photographs of a fucking guy shot in the face.
That's inflammatory? That's a dude that's dead?
They always do that. How many cases have we had where they say that? That's always one of their things. In not declaring a mistrial when the prosecutor elicited irrelevant and bolstering testimony, and in permitting the prosecutor to attack defense counsel in her summation, and that the erroneous admission into evidence of statements made by Salerno violated her constitutional rights to confront the witness against her and to a fair trial. And the prosecutor elicited evidence that violated her Sixth Amendment right to counsel, which is basically the same thing as the other one in different words. So, on March 13th, 2007, the appellate court affirmed the conviction, finding that the evidence was legally sufficient. Petitioner's contention that the trial court erred in admitting testimony of Paget regarding hearsay was bullshit. Any error in the trial court's admission into evidence of co-conspirator statements through Paget or Zeltzer was harmless, since the other evidence against her was overwhelming and there was no significant probability that the jury would have acquitted her had the statements been excluded, because they were saying shit that 5 other people said. Everyone heard you talk about
Everything was corroborated.
So, when 5 different people go, I wasn't even there, but you said the same thing in front of me, it holds up. That's the problem here. They said the petitioner's remaining contentions are without merit. So, appeals are gone on a state level. So she takes it federal for some habeas shit here. This is silly too. She has she says that they say that she exhausted her claim regarding the admission of hearsay sentences. Basically, everything she says is all horseshit. It's all horseshit, and they agree with her. It's pretty much the same things. She argues that in advance of Paget's testimony, the trial court invited defense counsel to make applications with regard to the admissibility of statements, which is what they did. This isn't what she claimed. This is what the court's saying. They said they could have objected and you didn't object. He contended, quote, not everything that Salerno says during the time the conspiracy is operative is a statement in furtherance of the conspiracy. It has to be made in furtherance of it. Just because he utters word and makes factual claims and there's a conspiracy doesn't mean that the two go together. That's what they argued in court, and they said, sure it does, fuck you. And that's what ended up happening here.
They're trying to say that just because we said it and it happened doesn't mean we did it? Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah. Really? So, you don't say. So, she also claims that the right of confrontation guaranteed by her 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments were also violated by the court rulings permitting the receipt of certain testimonial evidence. She says that she asserts that witnesses were permitted to testify as to prejudicial hearsay statements. Again, she's saying that shit. Conclusion is, they say, writ of habeas corpus is denied and petition is dismissed in its entirely, and enjoy your 25 to life.
Okay.
Because that's the end of the fucking road for your appeals. Yeah, your habeas got taken away, unless there's some new evidence that comes out that, some other person says, I hired him and
she's gonna do 25 to life.
I had his baby too.
God, I hope she stays in for so much more than 25.
No shit. Now, Jesus Christ. Now, later on, Zachary, the third child, Salerno's kid, was living with Leanne's sister in Long Island, and Leanne's son, Nicholas, the Paul's kid, is living with Paul and no longer has had any contact with his mother for a while there. Paul gave an interview on Larry King Live, which is interesting. Yeah. It's interesting. He said Leanne wanted him dead because she knew he would never stop fighting for her son, for their son. There's also crack and money and all sorts of other shit involved. But it's just easier to say that on Larry King. There's a lot of motives, Paul. There's a lot of motives,
You're not that great of a dude.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Relax. I was just too good of a father. That was the problem. I was just too good. They asked him if he felt lucky that he avoided being killed, and he said, quote, I don't feel lucky because I would have took that walk. I would have never asked him to do it, and whatever happened, that's a burden I'll always carry. So he feels bad.
I would have took that walk.
I would have took that walk.
Oh, boy.
And Alex didn't deserve it.
Right.
So he says that his life is now going better. His focus is raising his son. He says, quote, I feel like I have a severe obligation to be a good man and to do the right thing by my son because I feel like I owe that to Alex. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you smoked crack?
When's the last time you smoked crack? 15 minutes ago, Larry. You want some? So King also asked how he felt about Leanne.
Yeah.
And Paul said that he didn't hate her, but he was confused by that he felt like he was confused and that he felt like she definitely deserved the prison sentence.
How do you not hate that person?
I don't know. I would hate her.
She tried to fucking murder you,
because
bro.
It makes you sound so much better to the chicks when you go on TV and go, you know what? I don't hate her. I'm just confused about why a nice guy like me with a gym and did I mention I got a lot of money in the bank and that's why a woman wouldn't want me? By the way, my number here's my
stands up out of the chair. Look at this dolphin, Larry.
Let me look at this dolphin head while you're looking at my abs because you can see them both in the same shot. Get close. Salerno ended up in Attica, which is not where you want to be. Yeah. Leanne is at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, and all of her appeals, like we said, were shit. Yeah. Now, I found comments on I looked through all these news stories. Yeah. I always look through comments because sometimes, as we found, we'll get people involved in the case comments. So not only do I search through these fucking articles, then I fucking sift the comments and read what idiots have to say. So I found comments by a kid who is claiming to be her son, Chris Armanini, her first son.
That's the name.
That's the name. Claiming to be her son. This is from December 16th, 2004, about a story about her being convicted. Okay. And it says, quote, "You people make me laugh. Why is it that when someone who comes forward who actually knows something about this, you remove their comment? What are you scared? What? Are you scared that the truth is going to be exposed and it will make you look bad? How about you try to add some truth to this article? You seem to forget to add that the prosecution's number one witness, in parentheses, liar, was a man named Michael Paglianti who was arrested for buying 495 pounds of marijuana from the DEA. He was also friends with the killer Ralph Salerno." Well, yeah, that's how he was there. Mm-hmm. It's obvious that Salerno did it out of jealousy because Leanne, my mom, was getting back with Paul. But all that aside, Michael was faced with up to 40 years in prison and $2.5 million in fines because he lied and made up, in capital letters, a false story about how he was present at the time of the supposed plot. He served 0 time in prison and has paid $0 in fines. So he got himself out of trouble and put an innocent person who, by the way, he only met 2 times, add that, some truth, capital letters. There are way more factors that everybody seems to be missing.
Chris.
Jesus.
You got to calm down, man.
Yeah, man.
You got to stop defending your mom so much.
Yeah, I mean, while those are fine points and all that they do get people that, they do twist people's arms to testify and all that kind of shit. At the same time,
your mom still is a shitbag.
It still all happened. That's the problem. So I feel bad. I mean, obviously nobody wants their mom to be whatever, and he was probably 20 years old. Kid. He's a young kid at this point. I mean, I get it.
Is he
I think
mad?
He's like 15 at this point.
Is he mad?
He's like a 15-year-old kid. I mean,
is he mad that his mom's not in his life now? What is that?
If you're 15, your mom's in prison and out of your life, and you're upset and angry, and then people are on the internet and on fucking articles talking about your mom,
and he was going to be living in Florida. Now he's living on Long Island.
That's what I'm saying. So that's you know.
He had a house before. Now he's staying with his fucking aunt.
Yeah, and now another person named Carrie Mitchell put comments on here on March 18th, 2004. Quote, "You know what? You should be ashamed of yourself. Leanne Riedel is innocent of all charges. I know that for a fact!" Exclamation point.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm listening, Carrie. Let's go.
Let's hear what you got, sweetheart.
What
but
facts
I don't know.
you got?
I don't know. A lot of the backstory information, because there's a lot of court documents here that I got a ton of this shit out of, but a lot of the backstory information of their younger lives and how they grew up and shit came from a book called Killing the Wrong Man by Anita Murdoch. So I just want to give some credit for get some shit out of a book.
Way to go, Anita.
So, it was very sharp. It was like a 35-page book. I was like, this isn't it's like a pamphlet.
Yeah.
It's like a pamphlet, but I paid $3 for it, and I got some good backstory. So
$3 worth of information.
It was well worth it. The $3 was well spent.
Anita,
so good job,
should be
Anita.
Marketing that to dentists and get those little
you can
novels.
This is a great little waiting room story.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. So that is Amityville, New York.
Wow.
They're in prison. That's how it goes. Paul is still confused.
That's
Kids
a much better movie than the Amityville Horror.
Way better of a fucking movie. This is a great movie.
Yeah.
And the story is not that big. It's just not a huge popular story. You know, it was on, like I said, it was a flash during the appeals with he was on CNN and stuff like that. But
you know what it is? It was fucking muddled over by September 11th.
Well, this was 2000. Yeah, it happened in 2001.
Yeah.
But then the story still, you'd think it would be like one of these stories that they would have made a movie out of more than one book.
I mean, you could smell the buildings burning from where the dude was murdered.
True.
It's too close.
But it was before that, though. He got killed in January of 2001.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing wasn't over until after.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, who the fuck knows? I don't know. I mean, because I guess if the FBI was involved, if it's interstate, maybe they were more busy with other shit rather than just killing this Guido gym owner.
It's too close and too small in comparison.
We feel terrible for Alex Algieri. This is one of the worst we've ever felt for a person because they literally had nothing to do with shit.
Nothing.
Normally it's like, well, fuck, you married that person. Right. Or, not that that's an excuse, but they have something to do with the person.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well, they live together, and then obviously
the worst thing he did was go into a business agreement.
Yeah, with a guy who smoked crack.
Right. This is like if I go out to my Jeep tonight and get shot in the face.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's trying to get you killed.
Maybe, yeah. That'd be really... We drive totally opposite cars. I'm like a foot taller than you. We don't look alike at all.
I'm much fatter.
It'd be the worst hit ever. You fucked everything up.
I'm surely not taking 538 shots to the face.
No, and coming back in my house? Probably not. So that's Amityville, everybody. Wow. That is the Riedels, and that's a crazy fucking story.
It really is.
I've been sitting on this story again. This is another one I've kind of been sitting on for a little while because it's just wacky. And so that is Amityville. That's a crazy one, man. If you like that story, you know what you can do. Get on whatever provider you use, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you do. Give us a rating. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions or directions. If you have to write something, it doesn't matter. It don't do crack. It really, it helps show that we have an engaged audience, and that apparently means a lot to
crack saved
people.
My life.
Crack saved my, for once, crack saves a life, everybody. That's amazing. So do that. Give us a review. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yes.
No problems there. What you can do there is you can get a hold of us.
Yeah.
That's one thing you can do. You can get a hold of us. You can follow us. And by the way, when you're following us, ask us some questions that we can answer in bonus stuff.
They're fantastic.
We're going to have little bonus things.
Oh, my God. I asked some questions. I asked somebody to tweet me questions. The questions given are fantastic.
They are. So keep those coming because we're going to have bonus, little mini bonus things that are just like kind of answering questions or doing some house cleaning and just some funny stuff. So do that. You can get a hold of us on the website, and you can find us at crimeandsports@gmail.com. To email us, you can find us at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, and at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Yes. Find us there and give us whatever, or follow us and do your thing. Yep. Also, you can find tickets to live shows there, January 21st in Seattle at the Neptune, or January 25th in Seattle at the Neptune, and then February 21st at West Palm Beach, Florida at the West Palm Improv. Find your tickets to that on there. Also, all the merchandise that you could possibly want, all the sayings, all the names and everything. You can find it all there. Cups and mugs and T-shirts and everything is on there. Find all your stuff there. And also you can find links to be a superstar hero of ours. Yes. Those links will take you to patreon.com/crimeandsports, or you can go to PayPal and use our our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, to make a one-time donation and be one of our fucking heroes who we would never hire someone to drive up a coast to shoot in the face. Jimmy, hit me with the list of people who we don't want shot in the face right now.
Like a 38 caliber bullet.
To the face.
This week's executive producers are Melissa Chai, Peter Blime, or Bliem, Candace Kennedy, and Christiane Castaldi. Thank you guys.
Thank you
so much
for everything.
For us. That was really nice of you.
Every week, you guys are so nice to us. Thank you.
Every week, it's ridiculous.
Thank you.
Lindsay Carmoni, Crystal Lamb, writing entrepreneur, Kathleen Schaefer, Brendan Abels, Nicholas Merricks, Jason Orzachowski, yes, nice. Ashley Vio, Gabriel Romo Delgadillo, Andrea Kroc, like the pot, Jesse Hartman, Laura Sauter, May Lynn, Matt Dietrich, Rebecca Bleckman or Bleishman, Thomas Blair Luby, eBay Sales, Mariah Min here, Heather Ribeiro? Yes, I think I nailed that. I think so. Thomas Stevens, Lindsay Rustan, Nathan Segalius, Jessica Dugan, Kelly Higby, Courtney Crislet, or Crisket. I think that's an L. Chislett. Gianna XL, Sarah Catherine Bigham, Tamsin Hunter, James Ayers. No, it's Hires. Yeah.
There you go.
That's Hires. Bethany Zamke. Now I have the hiccups. Tabitha Lilly, Jessamy Hewlings, Colby Moore, Chelsea Morgan, Under the Sea Fabrics, Stephen Dean, Peyton Meadows, Rebecca Batty, Raymond Gonzalez, Julia Lyons, Gary Howard, Sarah Amaya, Zach Zientek.
Did Gary Howard send us the Jim Cornette cards, by the way? Thank you. Those are cool as shit. We appreciate that. Thank
Gary's
you.
The shit.
Thanks, Gary.
Tracy, Runninger.
Hey.
Caitlin Martindale, Rachel Fouch, Ryan Shank, Janae Content, thank you, Robert Smalley, Ann Ferry, Tara Jenkins, Sandy Handjob. She got me again. I wrote it and I was like, that's good. That's very good. And then I just
got cruising on the reading.
Blew through it. Matthew...
You're doing a little too well on those names. That's why.
Matthew Kerr, Owen Connolly, Naima Shea, Sylvia Soulier, Lauren Demarath, Hunter Perry, Janice Hill, John Codling, Heather Norton, Chrissy Blanche, Justin Miller, Judy Wilson, Melissa Marotz, Lisa Anderson, and Thomas Smith. You guys, we can't do it without you. And every week you guys fucking make it for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Jesus Christ, for everything you guys do for us, man. Fuck, honestly, you guys are like, whatever number of you there are, it feels like, and it seems like there's 10 times more of you because of how amazing you are. So thank you so much.
The chats,
you're awesome.
The information you guys feed to us between stories, email.
That's just great.
The tweets that you guys generate. It's really incredible to have such an engaged, awesome audience. And you guys are what drives this show. So thank you.
We're going to keep working our asses off.
Truly.
And always try to make the show better. We're never going to rest. We don't like to do that shit. The more people listen, the more paranoid we get that the show won't be good, so the harder we work on it. We're kind of the opposite of a lot of people in that way. We're not coasting. We go, oh no, there's people listening. Jesus, it's got to be good or else oh god damn it. My fear of embarrassment and Jimmy's will not allow this.
Wake up, James, and do more research. Why are you nodding off?
Christ. So what if...
Here's some crack.
Oh good, it saved my life. What if somebody wanted to give you some crack, Jimmy, and tell you some stuff? How could they do that?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks. WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and my Christ, Sweet Pete, has it been a really fantastic week. Thank you guys for everything, and the engagement, like that's awesome. Really what is this. That's what's most unique to me about us.
That's awesome. Man.
It's you guys. It's not us. So thank you very much. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is funny, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description. You don't want to spell it. You won't spell it. It's worse than Paglianti. Trust me. Or any of those other fucking guinea names that you heard over the course of this shit.
There was so many.
It's bad. So many, and I had no trouble pronouncing any of them. Did you notice that either? I popped out a Paglianti like nobody's fucking business because that's second nature to me, but that's fine.
I'm solid.
Keep on coming back, everybody. See us every week because they're just going to keep on getting crazier and crazier and crazier like they always are. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.